and welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another weekend edition here of the Sparkling Tuna Cup, the STC week number 98. I'm of course host VIP. With him, I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in chat, and by my plushies as well. Welcome, one and all, to your weekly dose of Tuna Cup action. It has been far too long. It's been a week, papi. It's been papi. Here we go. We are here. We are back, and we are counting down the days to EWC. Esports World Cup is right around the corner. Talent, casters, and players are already en route. They're already in planes, already in the sky, already making their way over to Riyadh to the Esports World Cup. But despite that, the show must go on. StarCraft continues. Our weeklies are ongoing, of course, and we have our first matchup of the night. Exclamation mark, be in the chat, have a look at the bracket yourselves. The bracket is live, the bracket is stacked, and we are jumping into our first best of 3 of the evening as spawning in the top left hand corner of Incorporeal. We have a it's a Zerg. it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Last week we didn't cast a single Zerg player, by the way, because we didn't have any. Fun fact. But here we have at least one top tier Zerg player in the brackets. It is YoungYakov. Oh, he's young again. He's young again, Pat. Yeah. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the Swedish Protoss player, the Red Protoss representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Sig. And you know what time it is in the chat? It's Gambit time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our PVZ. And again, it's going to be an intense night of StarCraft, let me tell you. It's gonna be an intense night here. Again, EWC is right around the corner. EWC is in a handful of days, papi. It is gonna be a handful of days. And we, of course, are bringing you as much StarCraft as we can. Today is going to be STC. Later on tonight, actually, it's going to be a double feature. We have STC into the Platinum StarCraft 2 League, which is going to be a monthly tournament run by Platinum Esports / Platinum Heroes. That is going to be at 2 a.m. my time, 1 a.m. KST. That is going to be in around 6 hours. In around 6 hours time. So it's at it's going to be quite a broadcast, let me tell you. I didn't get the most amount of sleep. I'm running on fumes a little bit already. I should be good here for the Tuna Cup, but I'm a little bit concerned about the Platinum cast later on. But we'll do our best, man. We'll do our best. I'll drink all the Red Bull. And of course, on the 22nd, on Tuesday, is when the Esports World Cup does begin. And of course, we're going to be bringing you that EWC action live here on the channel. As always. For now, we have our PVZ. For now, we have our openers, a Hatch Gas Pool, so that open out of our Zerg player. Likewise, we have the Gate expand into Cybercore here out of Sig. Everything's looking normal. Everything's looking as it should be. Stargate open out of our Protoss player. So again, we're not taking up anything crazy. We are getting to a standard start, at least so far. Now, coming into this, YoungYakov is one of the heavy favorites to make a deep run in this tournament. Quickly checking here, I believe he is the only big notable Zerg player in the bracket. This week, there's no Fiant, there's no there's no Shin. Shin, of course, is traveling, and there's no Wayne either. Those are the typical contenders. Or there's no GG Machine. True, there's no GG Machine either. Those are the typical contenders for this kind of for these online tournaments when it comes to our regular Zerg players. So that's the reason why I did jump on Yakov here, is to get some Zerg matches while I can, because I did not get to cast any last week. None at all. Likewise, Sig, I will say that Sig, he's a younger up-and-coming player. He's been slowly progressing, slowly raising the ranks when it comes to the online tournament scene, the online tournament, or the European region, I should emphasize. I will say that Sig's weakest matchup is PVZ. We've seen a little bit of it in the past, and it's the matchup that he needs the most work on. And we'll see how he does get into this, as it does open up Void Ray. Ooh, Void Ray, not Oracle. Lings, they're going for the third base, they're going for a cancel. Oh no, they get us around. Ooh, they catch one, a death, there's one death left. Lings coming from behind, and again, they do not snug themselves behind the mineral line. They do not get between the pylon either. They both go down. The Void Ray is slowly going to be crossing over from the main base, and it's going to be brutal here. The base may be denied. Yeah, Lings, they're focusing on the Nexus. Void Ray is on the way, racing on over, so is the Adept, but he's getting close, no more shields, we're taking some whole damage. No, can he force it? He will force a cancel. Yeah, there's just too much DPS, too many Zerglings. It is getting quite close though, but there it is. There is the, no, cancel please, cancel, no, let's it finish. No. Not like this. He lets it finish. GG gets called, and YoungYakov will take game number 1. Oof, GG. Ay, ay, ay. Not like this, Pappy, not like this. GG well played. Those are only the openers. We didn't really get to sink our teeth into the game itself, so a little bit lackluster there in a sense. Essentially, as we were pointing out, as we were mentioning, we had a big Ling flood, Ling counterattack from YoungYakov. The goal was to deny the third base to force a cancel. The Adepts got surrounded. They were low on HP. They didn't get quite behind the mineral line. Likewise, we also saw that it was Void Raid, not an Oracle. The Oracle is out faster. The Oracle's out faster, can quickly hop on over, has a high rate of fire as well to focus on those Ducklings. Void Ray is a lot slower to do so, so a bit of a slow reaction, slow response, brutal surround on those Adepts, and we saw that barely wasn't able to cancel, barely did not save it either. That was the goal there, obviously. The goal for Sig was that he was hoping he could save the base and get away with, you know, holding on to that Nexus, but he lost it. It was a kill. GG. GG well played. And with that, we're now getting into game number 2. Let's go. Jumping into game 2. Just catching up with the chat. Exclamation mark delay. There's no delay, as the command says. Yes. The command is correct. Do update it depending on the event. Also, before I get ahead of myself, a big shout to Soundo in the chat as well. Guys, see Soundo subscribing with Twitch Prime for 56 months. It has been years, baby. It has been years. Thank you so much for subscribing as well. That was during the countdown timers. We would appreciate it. As we're jumping into our next game, as we're jumping into game number 2 and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Persephone, we have the blue Zerga player leading the series 1-0. It is YoungYakov. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the Swedish Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Sig. There we go. And again, it was a very unfortunate game 1 for Sig. Again, he barely could not save the expansion, barely couldn't save the Nexus. Did it go down, and with that, that was game. That was game then and there. We'll see if Sig can actually get into his own opener, get into his own build, get into his own mid-game. We'll see if YoungYakov can find some weak points in the armor and take advantage of that, and take advantage of Sig. Let's go. Bearing in mind that YoungYakov he was not all in. He was not all in by any means. He was droning. He was expanding, he was teching, he was building up into a longer game. As you mentioned, the purpose of those Lings were ideally to delay, to cancel the base, but he got even more than that. He got even better. Oh boy. But here we go. Here we go. Also, shout out to all those in the chat. I see Easy Feel in the chat. Fiant was in Epic Land. True, yes. There was actually a lot of international representation. There was Fiant in Epic Land. There was, of course, Geralt returning to Epic Land. Lorimbo, he showed up once again. Like, Lorimbo, he's been there quite a few times, actually. I want to say there was another. There was Fiant, Lorimbo, Geralt, and I think there was another international player that I noticed in the bracket, but I could be mistaken. But yeah, it was really cool to see. Really cool. It's also why they're not present for this tournament. But shout out to Roll, shout out to Noam Chomsky, Baby Links as well. That emote, you're an animal. God. The Christopher Vista emote every time. SMH my head. SMH. But we're selling it. We're selling into openers. Once again, nothing crazy, nothing wild. Soon Sig will be taking his 3rd expansion. Soon we'll be seeing our tech of choice. Should once again be a Stargate opener, I would imagine. I don't think it's too wise to switch things up too heavily here against YoungYakov. But we'll keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on our Protoss. This probe is going to be sent back. Of course, welcome 1-0 to Persephone. Persephone, Resistance background is very direct. Very direct. I will say that this is more of a map of extremes. We either see very short games or very long games. There we go. Once again, Stargate opener out of our Protoss player. And we should be expanding. And this time, we should be holding on to the expansion. God damn. Not like this. But now, though, Deft does poke in. It does poke in. Oh no! It does poke in. Does get it surrounded though. Ooh, and that's already a rough start. One adept goes down, 12 lings on the way immediately. Basically, when it comes to ZVP, when it comes to the early game of PvZ, losing the first adept is huge because it means now you have one less unit to defend back at home. And this early on, you're quite limited. You're very limited in how many adepts you have and how many units you have to defend your bases. So being down one adept, it's a big loss. And here come the links of YoungYakov. And once again, the goal is to cancel the third base. Right now, we have one adept to defend. We're about to have two adepts. That will help somewhat here, but again, it's just now coming out. So Lings, they do hit the expansion, and we'll see if he can get another surround. Yeah, Adept does move in. Lings now focusing on the base itself. Yeah, second adept has arrived. It looks like that's going to be close. Yeah, it does force a cancel. Now, thankfully, not a kill. But does force a cancel, and again, a big reason for this is because the adept was killed, the adept went down. If the adept were to survive, it could race back home in time to help defend, or it could threaten the mineral lines, threaten these shades, and threaten the bases here of YoungYakov and force him to be more defensive instead. Either one works, but already a nice start, a strong start for Yakov. Speaking of, the wall is open, the wall is wide open, Lings, they flood into the bases. Probe's going to be going down. Delayed mining time as well. It's going to be one. There's going to be two dead workers. Ooh, 3, 4. Oh, good. And do we get 5 towards the end? Barely not, but 4 probes do full. Nice damage. It's going to be 6 in total. And once again, YoungYakov does have a strong start. Behind this droning, taking gases from here, can take up into a lair, take up into Hydra production. I would assume Hydras because so far there's still no Roach Warren yet from YoungYakov. Now, he doesn't have any Zerglings currently, so this adept counterattack can find some damage. True. Can't slip in. Oh, he loves it. Oh, no. Not one bit. As adepts, they do shade in. They shade in. We have a couple of Lings in position here, and they will delay, but drone's going to be going down, getting 1, 2, 3 drone kills. Not bad harass here from Sig. Gets a couple of workers, double adept into the main. Oh. Does threaten. Gets 2 drones. Drones going down. Oh, no! But the Queen does snipe the Oracle. Brutal pickup. Yes, 6 drones and 6 probes, so there's an even back and forth trade here, but the Oracle loss was huge for Sig. Lings, they poke in. Behind this, lair is just not finishing. We have the safety Baneliness. We skip the Roach Warren. It's going to be Ling Hydra. And there it is. There is that Hydra den. Now, something interesting that I find here is that there's no Eva Chamber. There's no chamber. There's no upgrades. We might just skip Eva Chambers entirely. If that's the case, this looks like a 3-base all-in. Yes, it's the 4th expansion, but this should just be for Larva. And we should just be maxing out on Ling Hydra off of a 3-base economy, 3-base saturation. That's what this looks like. It's a build that Sol is very fond of. Sol is very fond of this build. Yeah, and there we go. Rocks are being knocked down. We have 20 Lings in production. Oracle moves out. The Oracle will confirm, and nothing here at the 4th. There is a base, but no drones. No drones. Hydra's building up. Queens, they can start working on that highway across the map. We do see that Sig is taking up into Skytos, Stargate, Fleet Beacon. The Overseer Scout is going to confirm the 2nd Stargate. Now he knows that Skytos is on the way. And I mean, YoungYakov, he was already going for the all-in. He was already going for that one massive move out. And here it is. We have 10 Hydras on the way. Rocks are still up and running, but Lings are moving out, checking for a 4th. There is one. 4th base on the left-hand side. And here comes the push. Or here comes Yolin from Yakov. It will take some time for the Hydras to get across the map. Will take some time. They're rallying as we speak. It's currently Sig, he's not fully aware. He does have some side defense on the way. A couple of shield barriers. He's getting a 4th base, but he's not in position. He's not ready for this. Bailey's going to be rolling in, and he's headed for the mineral line. Can he break his way through? Up. I mean, nice position here with the Stalkers. Does hold the line well. We have a couple of Tempests on the way, but the mineral line is going to go down. Oof. Yeah, massive connections. The probe's going to be falling. We still ideally would have had to have waited for some reinforcements, but Hydras are trickling in. They are trickling, though. Yeah, Hydra's going to be going down. A bit of a messy attack here from YoungYakov, where he takes down the mineral line and is pushing to the natural. Yeah, probes are fallen. He's running out of steam. He will lose these Hydras. So again, a bit of a messy execution here from YoungYakov, just because he came in a little bit premature. But he still gets a mineral line. Gets a mineral line. Sure, there's a 4th base, there's a 3rd base, but there's no saturation. And behind this, YoungYakov, he can just remax. He can just back off, rebuild his army. Doesn't have to drone, but he does. He gets up to 83 workers, so he does drone up, and now he's taking in towards an Eva Chamber and Hive. And towards Hive Tech and that Infestation Pit. So the damage has been done. If he wants to, he could just make another wave and do it again. Or he can just back off, tech up, and get +1, work towards the Hive, work towards Lurker Tech. Tempest, they do go for the counterattack. At the same time, YoungYakov getting ready for the second round, for the second wave. Now, unfortunately for Sig, a big reason why like this is looking so one-sided and why he has almost nothing to defend is that he did decide to rush into Skytoss, into these Tempests, without any splash damage, or instead of splash damage, I should emphasize. He had a choice to make. He could have gone an earlier Storm. He chose earlier Tempest, and GG. GG gets called. The Tempest, they do not help against these all-ins, and YoungYakov, he will take the series 2-0. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Congratulations here to YoungYakov as has claimed the series. Again, Sig, at least here in game 2, he had a bit of a stronger showing. He got actually into his own mid-game, as we saw. Unfortunately, it looks like he was either working with incomplete information or he didn't really realize what he saw. Remember, he scouted the 4th. He saw the 4th base, he saw the lack of saturation, but I guess he didn't really confirm the lack of buildings, lack of Evo chambers, and how exactly committed his opponent was. He didn't see the Lingbane amassing outside of his army. It looked like Sig assumed that it was going to be a more passive game, right? He assumed that YoungYakov would give him more breathing room, give him more time. We saw that he wouldn't, that we saw that he was, again, cutting upgrades and massing up and maxing out on 3 bases. I say maxing, building up an army and pushing on 3 bases. But again, he was just kind of, you know, assuming, hoping for the best, and yeah, was caught out. Was caught out in the end. GG, well played. With that, YoungYakov does claim the series, and with that, we can catch up with the bracket. Exclamation mark, be in the chat to have a look at the back yourselves. Let us go. Here we go, as we do switch on over here. As we do switch on over to the quarterfinals. Okay. God damn it. Let's catch up here on the bracket. We have our round of 16. We have Creator. Creator is coming in as the #1 seed of the tournament. Now, you may be looking at this and may be wondering, hold up, where are the regulars? Like, typically, when it comes to the big heavy hitters in our weekly tournaments, it's players like Bjorn, it's players like Shin, it's players like Solar, Showtime, Skillus. A lot of these big names, a lot of them are traveling, of course. Showtime, Bjorn, Solar, Shin, Zaun, they are traveling, of course, to EWC, to the Esports World Cup, so a lot of them aren't available here. There are some, like for example, Fiant, like Geralt that we mentioned, were also traveling to the UK. There was a big LAN event happening in the UK. Epic LAN, of course, was yesterday, did end yesterday, and a lot of players were traveling for that as well. So because of that, there are some players that are otherwise unavailable here for this week's tournament. But in their absence, this is where Creator comes in as the #1 seed of the tournament, as the heavy hitter. Likewise, who else do we have? Creator is up against Ragnar in the first round. We have Rebellion versus Replicants as well in the first round. We have Yakov takes down Sig. Jumy gets a walkover, and we have a YoungYakov versus Jumy coming up next here in the quarterfinals. Ooh, let's go. That's going to be our next series. That's going to be our next matchup. Un momento while we set up. Do we need a moment? While we set up for the quarterfinals. Scrolling down, we have Cristiano. We have Cristiano who's up against Grape in the round 16. Meanwhile, Creator just takes down Ragnar 2-0. Big win there for Creator. He does advance on to the quarterfinals. And again, Creator, he's one of the favorites to win the entire tournament. He's on 1 seed. We'll see if anyone can stop him. We'll see if anyone can bring him down. Scrolling down, we have Art versus Azura in a PvP. We have Shameless takes down Norbash 2-0, advancing on to the quarterfinals. And we have Nick Ract versus Ledlix in the bottom, on the bottom side of the bracket as well. So for the most part, it looks like the first round is wrapping up. You know, we're halfway there. We're wrapping up the first round. We are going to be following Yakov into Jumy. That's going to be the next series. And it looks like our players are ready. It looks like the Vitas are done. We're jumping to game 1. It's going to be on Maganatha. Let's go. Let us go. Yo, shout out to Seek in the chat. Big shout out. Este Seek. GG, papi. GG. Always good to see you. Here we go. I see Rise in the chat. You should sign up for next week's tournament. Sign up for the Tuna Cup. Sign up. Remember, sign-up's open. You can be at any MMR range, any league. You can sign up, can play. Otherwise, looks like our players, they need a moment. I'm not too privy as to the vetoes themselves, but game 1 is going to be on Maganatha, a much larger map, much larger map, and we'll see how our two players will indulge here. This is going to be a close one. It's going to be a close one. I do think that Jumy and YoungYakov are quite close in skill. Like, when I think of their hierarchy amongst the European players, I do think that I put them quite close to each other, actually. Players like Jumy, players like YoungYakov, players like Geralt, players like Cristiano as well. Like, a lot of them are kind of around each other's skill level here. And yeah, we'll see. We'll see who comes out on top. I would not be surprised if this goes to the ace match. You know, going all the way to game 3, that's kind of what I'm leaning towards. But we'll see. We shall see. I only play EWC qualifiers and stuff. Ah, yes. You're jet lagged. Ah. You know, the kitchen's on fire. You have to put the cat out. I understand. Ah, no. Smurge. You're only playing the small tournaments. One day you'll play in Tuna Cup. I believe. You'll get the courage. I believe. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Maganatha, we have the... oh my god. We have the blue Protoss player with the blue Protoss representing Streamer Zone, Jumy. There was no banter. There was, yeah, I was about to say these are 2v2 partners, by the way. God. It is Jumy. They played a place in 2v2. And in the top left-hand corner, we have the, there's something to talk about here. We have the Zerg player. In the top left, we do have our Zerg player. It is YoungYakov. Yo, Milky Cow is cracked in 2v2, by the way. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamma time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. But yes, for those that are curious, Uthermal is hosting a 2v2 tournament on a regular basis, and Jumy and Yakov, they're teammates. Typically they're teammates. I say that, I think it was last week, did Jumy play with Showtime? I think Jumy played with Showtime, and Yakov, who did he play with? I think Wayne played with Night Phoenix. Milky Cow, did Milky Cow play with Yakov? Oh, maybe. The drama. But yes, these two are typically 2v2 partners. They are. They're some of our couples, I should say, in StarCraft. Yeah. They pair up. Beautiful. The job. Where is Eba when you need him? Where is he? As for now, we're settling in. Oh, Jesus. We have Hatchgas pull into a very fast third base. Very greedy build here from YoungYakov. Not what I was expecting. And also, if you're in the chat, true. Predictions. I believe they're still open. I believe. Yeah. So place your bets while you can on who you think will claim the series. It will not surprise me if these do go to the ace match, if they go all the way to game 3. Will not surprise. Oh no. Oh no. The kids are memeing. Ah no. We're gonna be here for a while. Time to make some breakfast. Aye. As for now, it is going to be a Stargate open out of Jumy. Likewise, across the map, Yakov is again cutting corners. Now, the reason why he can afford this fast third base is no second queen. He delays the second queen here in favor of a faster hatchery. So there's a bit of a give and take as to, you know, what this does cost. It does mean you have less lava early on, you have less units early on. You can see here that actually actually Yakov, he skips Zerglings. He skips Zerglings as well, making purely drones. So this is still a very greedy build here from YoungYakov, and so far he's getting away with it. Overlord pokes in. You can see Jumy, he wants it. He wants the Overlord. Ah, no. As the Overlord does get away from the Stalker, coming in for a scout. Again, it is going to be that Stargate into Oracle. Ah, Mbappe. True. He's scouting for free. What are hallucinations? What are they? Throws out the spray. And with the Overlord, he will scout. He will confirm, we'll get eyes on the Stargate, get eyes on the Oracle. And on the fast Twilight count, that's a council before third base. Oh my god. A very aggressive build, and unfortunately, oh, I see. I was about to say that he threw it down under the Overlord, which is kind of weird. You would never do that. But he did, and that should be suspicious here. He's letting him know. But is he lying? Is he telling the truth? Yakov, would he lie to you? So what I was about to say here is that again, he cancelled. Yakov doesn't know. Jumy tells him he cancelled. Does Yakov believe him? Does he believe Jumy? I wouldn't blame him if he doesn't. Like Jumy, he says a lot of things. Like, oh no. Oh no. The deception. The mind games. This is where you tell him and be like, actually, I'll be honest, I didn't cancel. Just, oh no. Oh, the mind games. Behind this, we are just no reaction. Like Yakov, he believes him. He believes Jumy, or he believes his own intuition here. Droning, he's getting 1, 3, up to 5 gases already here. So greedy, goes up to 5 gases. Now he throws out the Roach Horn. Again, this is around a 440, 435-ish Roach Horn timing, so much later Roach Horn here. Droning up heavily. He's got a couple of Zerglings. He's working with inclement information. He hasn't really seen much at all as to what's happening across the map. He hasn't seen the timing of the 3rd base, which would let him know that it's safe to drone, but he doesn't even know that. Just, yeah, just taking a chance here. Yakov is gambling, and he's gambling well so far. Ooh. Oracles, they do hit the 4th. At the same time, Adepsi on the right-hand side. Queens that respond to the Oracles. Meanwhile, Adepsi shitting in. Ooh, Link's out of position. Yeah, Link's out of position. Queen's out of position as well. Drone's going to be going down. They pull the ball. He's forced to pull in. And so far, 3 drones going down. Not bad. Gets 3 workers. Adepsi do shade past. Oracle's going to be zoned away. 1 Oracle does go down. Oh, that wasn't quite worth it. Not worth losing 1 Oracle. Not yet. And that's going to be 5, 6 drone kills. So 6 drones for what? 4 Adepts and an Oracle. And all the best trade. Adepts go down. Throws out the Spire. Let's go. Going into Mutas. Muta's going to be on the horizon. And Jumy behind this going into his own charge +1 timing. Into Archons as well. He's getting there. Oh. Yakov searching for a probe. Does take a slice to the face. Roaches are building up. And so far, Yakov, he has drawn up quite nicely here. It's going to be up to the Oracle to scan and confirm what's going on. The Oracle does dive in towards the natural. Gets eyes on some of the tech. Gets eyes on the Eva Chamber. Not much else. Goes into the main. Revelation. But doesn't confirm the tech. Doesn't get eyes on the Hydrogen or what we have here, which is the Spire. Ooh, and we're doubling down. We're going for Dropper Lords. Everyone's speed on the way. Drop Lords as well. A little bit of everything here. This is going to be quite committed, as Yakov, he hasn't preserved too much gas. Okay. Eva will come in the season finale after everyone betrays Jumy. Eva will be there for him. I don't believe you. Jumy will be there for Eva. I believe that. Be there. As we go, 4th base going to be delayed. Yakov does dive in, does get an Immortal, not bad. Ooh, assuming he gets it. One more volley, does get the Immortal, has to back up from here. Behind this, we have 10 Mutas in production. As, Jesus, Yakov here responds, Jumy responds so hard. We have a massive wall of shield batteries, cannons. He fully walls up, and Yakov sees this. He sees, he confirms, and what does he do? He's droning. He's droning on up, he's taking into Hydras. 5th base is on the way. Queens do drop in, they focus on the Oracle. Nice pickup. Nice pickup from here. Does transfuse. Oh my god, Storm is done. That's still on the arm, but these are good trades for the Roaches. Takes out an Archon. The Archon's going to be falling. Zealots as well. Not bad trades whatsoever. From here, he's going to be cleaned up, and here come the Mutas. Yeah, Mutas have revealed themselves. A moving into the army, which is not ideal. Here's a Phoenix. Yeah, there's a Phoenix, and this is giving Jumy time. Destroying down cannons. Destroying down shield batteries. Blink is not done. Yeah, there is no blink. Mutas, they keep Jumy contained. Behind this, Yakov has been droning. He's up to 81 workers. Again, that 5th base is on the way. We have Hydra upgrades on the way, Infestation Bit for that Hive Tech. And he's switching into Hydra until eventually Lurker Tech as well. So I'm liking this tech switch here from Yakov. And again, when he pushed in between the bases, he wasn't really too committed. Yes, he lost his queens, or he moved in with the queens. He lost some roaches, but he didn't max out by any means. Didn't over-invest into roaches. Oh, going for that Templar. Does force a Morphin. Does force an Archon. Does force a Storm. Mutas are going to be thrown away. It's a little bit wasteful here from Yakov. Oh, let's go the voice. Boys are going to be pulled back. Does catch out 2 of those Phoenixes. But there's still 2 storms. Yeah, there's soon to be 2 storms available. Yakov does kite back. And again, he's been taking this entire time. Like, sure, he doesn't break Jumy, but he's trading with him. Behind this, Hive is on the way, Lurker Den is on the way, joining up to 90 workers. Ay, ay, ay. And again, Yakov, he'll be the first to max out. I mean, he's almost there. He's at 180. Soon to be at 200 supply. And again, it's going to be a rough defense here for Jumy. Again, Jumy, he overreacted earlier. He just invested so heavily here into cannons and shield batteries, whereas this could have been a base, right? This could have been a faster 4th. This could have been faster tech. Jumy was convinced there was an all-in coming when there wasn't. And I want to say that Yakov did a really good job at selling the story. Nice storms. Storms so far are solid. Jumy, he's holding on. Jumy's in a position here where he cannot push, but he can defend. Like, you can be down 30, 40, 50 army supply and still defend quite well with side defense, with storms, just buying time for Sky Toss. Fleet Beacon is done. Tempest production has begun. Like, Jumy, he can max out from here. He's got a 4th. Got a 4th base. All he has to do is defend on 4 bases, and all this side defense is coming into play. This is where there's a lot of pressure on Yakov to do something about this, to try to break one of these expansions. It's not easy. Not easy to break a 4th base here on Maganatha. It's possible the best he could hope for is just contain and deny the 5th. Deny the 5th, spread creep, take more bases, investing more upgrades, get a spire, work on, get a 2nd spire, work on spire upgrades as well. There we go, +2 air attackers on the way. So these are good moves here from Yakov. And we'll see how Jumy recovers. Because again, Jumy, he's about to max out himself. He's got his 4 bases, that's all he needs. As Yakov is splitting up his army. Also, I'm sorry to hear, Pekawet. Sorry to hear. Less than 3. I mean, less than 3. Take care of yourself. As Yakov is moving in. And again, it's going to be difficult to break some of these expansions. We do see a couple of lurkers poking in towards a 4th base. The 5th base is denied. Storms likewise going to be connecting. Nice storms on the lurkers. Does get an immortal. Like, every little pickoff counts. Gets an immortal, gets an Archon, gets a 2nd immortal. Lurkers are going to be cleaned up, and everything's going to go down. And with that, Jumy does take the fight. And was that worth it? Sure, Yakov, what did he accomplish? He canceled the 5th. He canceled the 5th base. He picked up a couple of units here, but this was an expensive trade. Ooh, meanwhile, one lurker behind the middle line gets 10 probes. Okay. 10 workers go down. But now Jumy can expand, and now he can get a 5th base. I do feel like Yakov did overextend. He denied the 5th, which is good, but then he kept going. Then he kept on pushing. And now Jumy, he can bolster up his army even more. Meanwhile, Yakov is doing the same. He's got Corruptors on the way. There we go. We have 9 Corruptors with the main army, so it's a little bit more well-refined. We are missing Spellcasters. There's no Vipers currently. There's no Infestors. Vipers, they can play a critical role when it comes to abducting, when it comes to blinding clouds, parasitic bombs, and the abductions. As things, they do hit the 3rd. At the same time, that is into the main. These lurkers are going to go down. Yeah, this is another big overextension here from YoungYakov, but he does get the expansion though. Takes down the Nexus. Likewise, Corruptors are coming from behind. They get one Tempest. One Tempest goes down. Nidus is denied. But again, these have been some expensive losses. Sure, he gets a Nexus, but I mean, now we have a new 5th base anyway. We can just transfer over. Likewise, Yakov lost what, 4 or 5 lurkers in the process. He's remaxing. Rebuilding his army. And if Yakov, if he can go back in, if he can once again deny the 5th, deny the 4th, if he can bring down these bases, then it can be worth it in the long run. It can be worth it, but oh boy, here comes Jumy. And here comes Jumy. He's almost maxed out, has a terrifying army. And we're going for a pseudo base trade. Lings, they do hit the 5th. Jumy pushing through the center expansion. And I'll be honest, I don't think his main army can be stopped. There's, what, 4 lurkers? Oh, there's barely any. It's going to be 7 lurkers. Lings, they will kill the 5th. Not bad. And again, without a high lurker count, this army will not be stopped. Here we go, the 7 lurkers. Meanwhile, expansion goes down. Massive storms in the mineral line. Catching at 8 drones. Pulling back. Lurkers do hold. That's 2 bases going down, and now we have carriers on the way. Getting into more carriers. We're attempting this around. Let's go. Yeah, we do collapse in. Storms they zone away. Yeah, they zone pretty well. And Yakov, you have to retreat. Zelaramba here towards the top side. Likewise, Prismir into the natural. Jumy, unfortunately, is maxed, so he actually can't warp anything in with that Prism. As he bleeds out units, he can. Yeah, and he's just pulling Yakov apart. He has done it at this point. Warps in some Zealots. Northern base going down. Natural's going down. There's barely an economy. GG gets caught as he pulls Yakov apart. And Jumy, he will take game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Jumy, he does claim the first game. Again, a very intense back and forth here on Maganatha. Initially, I was really liking Yakov's position. Initially, he did a great job when it came to trying to fake out his opponent, so when it came to forcing an overreaction. But what I will say, the big moment in favor of Jumy was he got a 4th. He got his 4th base up and running. Once that happened, as we were mentioning at the time, it was a foregone conclusion that he was going to max. That he was just going to max out, and he was going to be able to build up a Skytoss army. In the end, Yakov, he was able to kind of force his opponent to overreact to defenses on 3 bases, but again, he overextended, he overcommitted, and because he was bleeding out so much of his army, he couldn't threaten the 4th base, which is what mattered, which was what was important, was threatening the 4th base, denying the 4th base, containing Jumy for as long as possible. Yakov wasn't able to do that. He wasn't able to pull that off. Likewise, you can also argue that Yakov's switch into mutas, that also slowed him down because it wasn't really effective, didn't really achieve anything. It forced out some Phoenixes, and he was able to get 2 Eye Templar and Morphin and Archon. But then if you remember, right after the Archon got morphed, he just moved the mutas in and just lost them, right? Like, so in the end, the mutas didn't pay for themselves. It was a big investment, wasn't really worth it either. So that also kind of set Yakov behind. It kind of threw away a little of the momentum that he had, because if you remember, he went into the mutas right after he had forced that overreaction, and the mutas weren't worth it in the end. GG. GG, well played with that. Jumy does take the first game, and now we're getting into game numero 2. Oh boy. And we'll see if Yakov can recover. We'll see if he can bounce back. See if he can bounce back. Again, I do think that Yakov had a stronger start, but it was the follow-up. It was the follow-up that was lackluster, that left much to be desired. This is where Jumy thrived. Let's go. Let's go. we go. So we're getting into our next game as we are following our players into game number 2 here in the quarterfinals of Sparkling Tuna Cup number 98. And spawning in the bottom hand corner of Persephone, we have the German Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Streamer Zone, leading the series 1-0. It is Jumy. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the red Zerg player. It's red Zerg player himself. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back. We'll see if he can force the ace match. It is YoungYakov. We go. Whew, here we go. And again, Yakov, he played quite well last game, especially when it comes to the early to mid game. Like, that's where I feel like he was thriving. That's where I feel like he was ahead. Unfortunately, as the game progressed, as the game went longer, he lost that lead. He took some really rough fights, some really expensive fights as well, where he was losing wave after wave of lurkers, where he wasn't really achieving too much for it, where it just was not worth it in the end. And Jumy was able to recover and snowball out of control. GG. GG. Now we're going to be loading into Persephone. The rush distance by ground is far shorter on this map compared to Maganatha. Hello. Jumy faking out a cannon rush. Overlord is on the run, or is on the chase. Of course, we can see just standard opener out of Jumy. Yakov just making sure that's the case. Once again, going for the same build. Now, this opener made sense on Maganatha, right? It made sense just because of how large the map is and how macro it is as well. You can get some corners. Here on Persephone, this is a bold choice. What are we seeing here? Hatch, gas, pool. We go straight into a third expansion, straight into a third hatchery, which once again means that we are going to be delaying and skipping link production and also delaying the second queen. So 1 queen instead of 2. That's how you can afford the hatchery, the expand. Likewise, purely droning. No Zerglings. And we'll see how Jumy does respond. Now it does go for the Stargate opener once again. The probe does confirm the timing of the hatchery, so he knows. Does know. He's aware. From here he does poke in. Poking in, keeping an eye on the saturation. Likewise, we'll keep an eye on the tech of choice. Last game we saw that YoungYakov was just hyper greedy, took his gases, got into a lair first, into a safety bathing nest, into hydras. Oh sorry, into roaches. No bathing nest, just straight roach. Into eventually muta play. Meanwhile, that's going to be a Void Ray opener out of Jumy. Okay, so already he's mixing it up. No Oracle. Now, the purpose of the Void Ray, of course, is to high tech, is to hunt down overlords, is to keep Yakov in the dark. And that is going to be a Twilight Council before expand. And this time it's real. This time it is real. Remember last game, Jumy, he threw it down under the Overlord, then he cancelled. They told him he cancelled it. Yakov believed him. Things they figured, nice round. Yeah, nice round on the Adept. He gets 1. But only 1. And this should be Glaives. Technically, because it's Jumy, I wouldn't rule out Charge, but it's going to be one or the other. There it is. Glaives are going to be on the way. We have 2 gates in production as well. From here, we can go up to another set of gateways, up to 6. And we can warp in Adepts, of course, and keep them back, build them up, hide them, and then just send it across the map instead. Now, it's going to be a 4:30 Roachhorn timing, around 4:30-ish. Pretty standard here, a little bit earlier, but just to be safe. So I would say a relatively safe opener out of Yakov. With this, he'll have access to roaches to defend, to survive against the Adepts. Question is, does he make any roaches, or does he have it just there just to be safe? If it's a late scout, if it's a late reaction, then things can go south real fast and real quick. And here they come. Adepts are moving out. Yakov, he sees nothing, by the way. Again, because of the Void Ray, the Overlords have been hunted down. We have one Zergling moving out. But once again, Yakov, you will miss this. Now, thankfully, he's making some safety roaches. And oh my god, he does have a drone in position. He hasn't seen much, but he's getting ready. Good read. Yeah, good read here from Yakov. Drone is in position. Ooh, he does not wall off in time. So he had the tools to defend. The drone was in position, but no wall off. Ay. Yeah, FC busted between the bases. Ling's gonna be hunted down. Takes down the Zerglings, gets into the mineral line. Drone's gonna be falling, and this is getting out of hand. This is getting out of hand. This is becoming far too much damage already. Oh, 5 drone kills. Oh, did miss a shade. Okay, Yakov will defend. Not bad. I assumed more damage would be done, and we're getting some drone damage here at the third, but never mind. Goes to the queen. Here gets a couple of workers. There's the target firing. Yeah, boys are being pulled. 11 drone kills, much better. And is that enough damage? 11 workers for how many adepts? Ooh, 16. Yeah, again, that was a brutal trade from Jumy. Ideally, he did want to trade a little bit more efficiently. Now Yakov has a massive roach army. Now he can counterattack. Now he can punish. Now back at home, how many immortals do we have? So far, one immortal. We have a wall of cannons and shield batteries on the way. Void Rays are building up. Void Rays and immortals are going to be ideal against a roach all-in. Yakov is not going for the all-in. He's droning. Okay, he's droning up. And then they shade into the mineral line. They do get a queen. Leading some workers. Another 5 drones go down. This is nice damage. But ideally, we do need more. So Yakov is taking. Okay. Taking into lurkers. So this game is much faster to take into lurkers. This game, he's also droning up a little bit harder as well. But he's not really making use of this army. So Jumy, he can safely stabilize on 3 bases. Can he get a 4th there? Can he get up in time? Now going for the fleet beacon. Overseas hunted down. Dealt with. Jumy, he hasn't seen much at the natural. Yeah, he hasn't seen the tech. He hasn't seen the would-be hive. Jumy's playing blind. And even though Jumy, he is like turtling and defending and getting a 4th base and getting to Sky Toss, this time it feels like Yakov is just a little bit faster to tech this time and faster to just recognize the game state and just build up into Hydralisk and Viper, assuming we get into Viper tech. So he does get eyes on the 4th. Slides forward into the main, thrown away. Takes down the Void Ray, Hydras is scouted. Here we go, we have 10 lurkers in production. Yakov is maxed out. It's going to be maxed out with 10 lurkers. And is Jumy going to be able to survive this? Jumy's got 3 Eye Templar, 3 Storms, 3 Immortals. He's got some cannons and shield batteries. It's going to be close. On the one hand, the lurker count is nice, but there's not that much support for the lurkers, not yet. Storms is solid. Lurker's still moving in. Oh, does catch a High Templar. Sorry, does catch a Tempest, but to say. Tempest taking a lot of hits. Taking a lot of damage. Yeah, the lurkers are on the high ground. There are enough lurkers, and they're doing it. They're pushing through. Tempest, they can clean this up, but there's only 2 Tempests. We need a Storm, and a good one. And even then, it's not going to be easy. Oof. Yeah, Yakin gets punished. Storm of the Lurkers. The base goes down. It does break through the natural. And again, Yakov, he's done it. At this point, he's done it. Because from here, he can just go straight into the main. He can just go straight into the main base. Jumy catching reinforcements. Better positioning here for Jumy. Lurkers so far, they're left on their own. Oh. And now Jumy can collapse on this. Yeah, it cleans up all the Lurkers. Yakov's army is going to be cleaned up. He's still trying to rally across the map. Being a little bit wasteful. Oh my god, they're stacking. Oh, where's the probes? They stack up the gas. 29 probe kills. This one lurker has 28 workers. This one lurker just killed the mineral line. That should not have happened. That should not have happened. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, Jumy, he did not notice that one lurker. And now Jumy has no economy. Like, imagine, like, if it wasn't, unironically, if it wasn't for that lurker, Jumy, he'd have 70 probes. Well, he'd have, yeah, 70 workers. Have 74 probes. He'd have an economy to work with. He could resaturate his main base to retake his natural. But he lost half his workers to one lurker. Here we go now. Yakov is going for the kill. Going for the kill, going for the throats. Storm doesn't connect. Better storm towards the end. Yakov, he should have done it from here. Yeah, pushing further in. I assume it's going to peel off towards the right hand side, but that's a lot of cannons. Jesus. That's a lot of cannons. Nice force field, catching out the lurker. Okay, is there a way for Jumy to recover from here? I mean, Cloak is now running out. There's a high Tempest count. And without a good amount of Corruptors, these Tempests, they just bully the ground army. Oh, true. Healing pad. Healing of the Immortals. Nicely done. Immortals healed up. Now we have a Corruptor count, so it's going to be 9. 9 Corruptors here for Yakov. We have some spell caches as well. And this time Yakov is done well enough to deter the economy. Last game, that was a big thing that Jumy had going for us, was his unhindered 4 bases. Yakov trying to force his way in. There's a recall. Does recall over. Yakov, he will soon max out. His lurker count is quite low, so that's definitely something that he has to be wary of. There we go. Getting up to 9 lurkers. So it's gonna be 9 lurkers, a decent corruptor count. Despite that, it's gonna be 7 High Templar. That's gonna be a lot of storm. Defensively, Jumy can still take a fight. For sure. Out on the map, different story. Unless he does catch some free lurkers. Good fun. Firebomb on the mothership. Nice damage on the Tempest. Tempest getting quiet. Takes some hull damage. At least a little bit. Corruptors, they try to dive in. Storms behind the Corruptors. Mothership does go down. That's a decent storm count. It's 3 storms. Ooh, no storms left there. Uh-oh. Yeah, no storms remaining. Lurkers, they go to town on the ground armies. They'll take them in from behind. Oh, but no detection. Yeah, no detection. Zealous, they just get annihilated. And Yakov, he may have just done it. May have just barely done it here. Again, no observer, no oracle, no revelation, no detection. Jumy just now making observers. And Yakov is looking to force the ace match. And again, the MVP of this game for Yakov was that one lurker that was in the main that killed 30 probes. Technically 28, but essentially 30 workers. It's crazy damage. Guys moving in for the fungal. Does collapse on the army. Have them as well. Zoning the army away. Flashing on the Nexus. Zealot run by ZR, getting damage done. At least a little bit. Killing off certain queens. Nice feedback. YoungYakov just bullying back the main army. Jumy should never be able to expand. As he tries to, bases should be denied. Jumy does have bottom right, does have a full fresh mining base. That's the only expansion really that Jumy has. As he's fighting desperately here for his own natural. Fungal connects. Roger's moving in, but they do take a lot of storms to the face. GG gets caught, and Yakov, he will tab the series 1-1. We are going to the ace match. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Once again, we had Jumy with a rougher early to mid game. That is where Yakov was able to deal some critical damage, able to thrive, and from there just snowball out of control. From there, he was able to just constantly just keep remaxing, keep maxing out, maintain map control more importantly. From there, GG. GG. Now we're going all the way to game number 3. Going to game 3. Game 3 is going to be on Tokamak. Oh boy. And again, no surprise here in the fact that we're going to the ace match. That's kind of where we expected these two players to take us. But do we go the way of Yakov or the way of Jumy? Yet to be determined. Yet to be determined. Yeah. As we are getting into game number 3. Yo, big shout out to Norbash Bash in the chat. God, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a good stream. Hope you had a great time in the tournament, as I believe Norbash was in the first round, was in the round 16. So thank you so much. Hope you had a good time. Likewise, I hope you had a good time last night as well in Duckling Open. I know that you've been supporting us for a long time on the Patreons, so thank you so much for competing. I want to say for some of the first times here. So thank you. Maybe you had a good time. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Tokamak, we have the German Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Streamer Zone. It is Jumy. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the blue Zerg player, the blue Zerg player himself. Ooh, tying up the series, it is YoungYakov. Go. See someone asking in chat, what does Yakov mean? It's his name. It's his name. There you go. I don't know if there's any meaning, but I know that like there for some names out there that have like meanings behind it, I guess. I don't know if there's anything behind the name Yakov. So EB. Here we go, we're getting into our next game. Scouted with his Zergling. If he did scout the Adepts with his Zergling, then I did miss that. But I assume he did see with the Zergling just because he had the drone in position at the wall, if you remember. He had the drone ready to fully wall off. He missed the wall, unfortunately, so that didn't quite stop the Adepts. But yes, we did emphasize how little damage the Adept Harass or the Adept Aggression was able to deal. Despite that, I do believe that Jumy would have been able to recover from that. Again, as we pointed out, he did lose a lot of workers at his own main during the initial defense against the first wave of lurkers. If it wasn't for that damage, I do believe that Jumy would have been able to recover and actually make a game out of that. And actually hold his own against Jumy. Sorry, against Yakov. Similar to game 1. But now welcome one and all to Tokamak. So where are you going? Come back, Pappy, come back. Oh no. As he barely gets, oh no, barely does not get away. Yeah, barely doesn't get to the pillar in time, and with that the overload does go down. That does supply block YoungYakov. At the same time, he does slip into the bases, or at least he does force some inefficient mining. He gets 1 probe kill so far, he gets 2. Yeah, 1, 2, can he get 3? Up, he can. 3 probes, not bad. Yeah. He's also counting alongside us. Yeah, 3 probes. Really nice damage here from Yakov. A give and take is what I will say, because 3 probes is really nice. Unfortunately, remember, he got supply block, he lost one of his overlords, so a bit of a give and take between the players. True, true. If you don't see it, doesn't really happen. Ah, co-hope here. As Jumy from here he expands, and behind this we'll see how greedy Yakov is going to be. Now, unlike the previous game, this is going to be a much later hatchery here from Yakov. You can see he's already on 3, soon getting 4 queens. So game 1 and game 2, Yakov, he did go into a faster third base and delayed queen production. Here we have the opposite. Here it's going to be a safer start out of Yakov with a higher queen count and a later expand instead. And later drones as a result. Or later, I guess, larva from said third base. So you can see a much safer start. We have a bit of a Adept Harass slipping in. 2 Adepts taking one-shot drones, and they will one-shot. Okay, drones going to be going down. Despite the safer start, queens were out of position. Getting 2 drone kills so far. Gets up to 2. Shades into the natural. Gets another drone. 3 go down. See, this is where Jumy, if he was counting, which I don't think he was, that's where he says 3. That's where he retorts with 3. Free win. And then Yakov says, I didn't see. Ah. Oh no, he's doing it! They're listening to the stream, Pappy. They know. They know. Ah. He can't count. No, it was 3. It was 3 drones. He's being gaslit. Este Jumy. Here we go. As the Oracle does move out. Does hit the third, gets a drone, nothing major. Behind this, we have an earlier Baliness here out of Yakov. Looks like a safety Baliness more than anything here. Working towards a hive, working towards Lurker Tech, or I should say Hydra Tech for now. Also, melee is on the way. That tells us more that it should be Ling Hydra. There it is, it's not a Hydra Tech. Oracle does take a lot of hits, takes a lot of damage. Oracle's going to hit the base. Can we force a cancel? It's getting quite low. Yeah, it's getting low here, and can we save it? Oh my god. As the base is going to be denied, does kill the Oracle though, so on the one hand will slow down his opponent, but at the same time that's the death of an Oracle. 1 Oracle left, barely standing on 3 HP. Oh my god. Worth it? I think it was worth for Yakov, I'll be honest. Today. Again, Oracles, they give you so much support throughout the course of the game, but at the same time, delaying your expansion means late larva, means delayed economy. Safe for Terran. He's not quite there yet. As Yakov's joining. He's joining up. He's going to try to saturate. Oh, God. You know what this reminds me of? I'll be on, like... oh, no! Oh, Bailey's they crash in. They take down 2 White Temple already. Okay, nice pickups. Very nice pickups here. They almost go to a 5. That was almost game. That was almost disastrous here. Ay, ay, ay. And I'm hoping the Jumy, yeah, pulls away those High Templar. But the way that they talk is unironically like me and Yaku at times, which is concerning. It's not good. It's not good. It's not good at all. The brain rot is real. As Yaku is building up. He did end up catching a couple of High Templar at least, but pushing into these bases is not going to be easy. I was trying to emphasize this previously. I didn't really get into it, but again, if you tune into CranKy Ducklings, you'll know this. Tokamak is, I would say, probably the most defensive map in the map pool when it comes to securing your 4 bases. We'll see if we can deny the 4th. Nice pick off. Okay, Yakov does force a cancel on the 4th base, containing Jumy behind this, taking up in towards Hive, joining on 4 bases. We'll see if Yakov can find any more damage. Picks up a couple of zealots. A couple of zealots going down. Storming some of the banelings. Yeah, it does deal with the banelings at least. But that was a lot of storms being spent. It's going to make it that much more difficult here to expand and claim the 4th. And here comes Yakov. Here comes a cancel. Yeah, Jumy out of position. There's another cancellation. Behind this, Jumy taking up into Sky Toss. I mean, this is the correct thing to do, but he needs a 4th base to pull this off. He needs that 4th. So far, nice Zealot run by. Zealot say distract. Everything turns back around. Oof. Ay, ay, ay. 6 drone kills, 6 workers. Hydra's a race back home. And this does give Jumy the breathing room he needs to expand. And now the 4th base will finally get up and running. So the MVP Prism kills workers, but again, more importantly, gives Jumy some time. Gives him time to expand. And now we have a game. Now Yakov is taking up into Hive, taking up into Vipers, taking up into Lurker Tech, of course. Meanwhile, Skytos now amassing for Jumy. And he'll be able to keep up on 4 bases. I may even favor Jumy here, as actually Jumy is going to be pushing. He's pushing pre-Lurker Tech. Lurker's not ready. That's going to be a lot of banelings. 20 banelings morphing in. Jumy, he backs off. He only has 3 High Templar, so not many storms. Not many storms left over. First one finishing up. It's out some of these station traps, only some. Aliens say you don't quite make their way in. Barely not. Takes down 2 station traps, takes down a shield battery. That's being rebuilt. High Templar once again, they're exposed. And with that 1, 2, 3. Oh, 2 High Templar go down. Nice pickups. 1 Templar left, no storm. Archons are going to try to force their way through. They pick off a couple of Lurkers, not bad. Okay, Lurkers have no support. And currently I do favor Jumy's position, but Yakov is building up his upgrades, getting into Lurker range, into Adaptive Talons, eventually into 3-3, and eventually into more Corruptors. As the Greater Spire's on the way. It's a Greater Spire. Now, thankfully, when it comes to Yakov, thankfully the Skytoss is still slowly building up. There's only 3 Tempests so far, but it will slowly get up to critical mass. Yakov is rotating. Jumy a little bit late to respond. Uh-oh. Now late to respond. 1 Lurker goes down. There's not that much support for the lurkers though. There's only what, 2 hydras, a couple of zerglings. Lurkers are exposed, and here come the Tempest. Yeah, free damage. How many probes can he kill? Getting into the mineral line. Probes, they pull away. And this time they pull far away. No, they pull away. Lurkers, they just run into the army. Brutal pickups, and Jumy does take the fight at the same time here across the map. Zeltate busts into the mineral line. Drone's going to be falling. Hatchery as well. And Yakov is being torn apart. Yeah, Jumy, he defends, cleans up all the lurkers, and he takes out an expansion and half a mineral line. Oof. Yeah, it takes out half a mineral line. Yakov, he is in danger. He's in trouble here. Here comes Jumy. How many lurkers are left? 0. Oof, 0 lurkers remaining. And remember, this is mainly a ground-based army. There are corruptors, but we need lurkers. We need those lurkers here. As they're on the way. We have 3 lurkers morphing in, soon to be 5. Jumy doesn't like his chances. I do think that Jumy could have pushed through, but he's going to take it slow. He's going to back off, take it slow. Getting more Stargates, working towards carrier production. Prism goes down. As Yami rotates. Yeah, he just takes it slow, rotating over towards the Finch expansions. Nice slow zone, catching out the queens. He's on a couple of workers as well. As they find another queen. Has to be careful to overextend and push into the bases. Again, I don't think we have to push into the 4th quite yet. But he kills the 5th. Yeah, 5th base goes down and Jumy's in control. Jumy, he's just snowballing out of control at this point. Takes down the center right and northern 5th base as well. Oh, Bailey's aggression. This takes into our Templar. Very nice. There's a recall. Leaves the Tempest behind. There's a lot of High Templar going down to the Bailings. But Yakov, he's gonna be broke soon. He needs an expansion. Yes, he does have somewhat of a bank, a mineral bank especially. But Jumy's economy is greater. As Jumy's getting up to 5 bases, the Protoss is up in expansion, up in economy compared to the Zerg. That's not meant to happen. It's rough whenever it does. There are 15 corruptors remaining. I mean, the corruptor count is quite high, true. There are 2 infestors. There is a chance. Like, there's a world where Yakov can take a fight, where he can fungal the army, where he can maybe deal with it a portion at a time, getting on top of the High Templar, denying storms. Speaking of, the High Templar count is quite low. Only 2 Templar. Lurker's trying to force a way in. Just pushing forward. Let's go. Going for the Tempest. Oof. Barely not. But he's going for the bases. Behind this, double expanding, taking the center expansion and the center left. Sees them moving in. Next is taking a lot of hits. Nice guy with oh god. The bait with the Tempest. Yeah, lurkers are exposed. Here comes the detection. And Jumy, he should break through this. I say that we have more lurkers behind this. And there's not enough on the ground, but there's plenty on the sky. Yeah, GG gets caught. GG gets caught behind this. Mineral line went down, 19 drone kills, and GG. Jumy will claim the series 2-1. Whew. GG, well played. Jumy, he will claim it. Again, Jumy, he was able to break out, able to pop off. On the one hand, yes, Yakov was doing a great job when it came to denying the 4th. If you remember, he denied the 4th base twice. Not quite 3 times. So he did deny it twice, which was great, but he was a little bit late to tech up. We spoke about it when Jumy got his 4th base up and running, then he could max. Then he could max out, then he could be active on the map. Eventually, he did get his 4th, and once again, we saw Yakov, I would say, being overly aggressive and overextending, specifically with his lurkers. He would be able to build up his first wave of lurkers, and he would be hyper aggressive with them to the point where he would throw them away and give Jumy the opportunity to recover, to bounce back. If you remember, the moment that Jumy took his 4th base was the moment that the prism got across the map. We were giving him praise at the time, the MVP prism, if you recall, which actually forced the entire army back home to deal with the zealots, to deal with the prism, which allowed Jumy to eventually expand. If it wasn't for that prism, then most likely Yakov would have contained Jumy a little bit longer, which could have made the world of difference. But eventually Jumy, he recovered, right? He recovered, took his base, took his expansion, and with that, GG. GG, well played. Whew. With that, Jumy does claim it, and with that, we're now getting into the lower semifinals. Oh. The semis are ready for us. Un momento. Beautiful. Here we go. So if you're in the chat, exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at yourselves. We are jumping into the lower semifinals. So GG, well played. Jumy does advance on to the upper semifinals to face off against Creator in the upper semis. We'll get there. They're going to be on hold for the time being, as we're going to be hopping on down to the lower PvP, to lower semis. Shameless and Art have been patiently waiting, quickly going over the brackets. Art took down Cristiano 2-0. That's a big win for Art. Oh my god. And Shameless took down Nicorette 2-0 as well. So welcome to the sparkling Protoss Cup. If you look at the bracket, we have only Protoss players remaining. We have Creator, Jumy, Art, and Shameless. So non-stop PvPs here tonight, and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of torches, we have the blue Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Team Little Fairy. It is Shameless. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponent, we have the pink Protoss player, the pink Protoss representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Art. Here we go. So we are going to be settling in. We have our PvP, and if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our PvP. Here we go. You guys are getting to our PvP, so again, best of luck in the chat. So far, would you have a difference in openers here? We have Shameless setting up on the low ground, going for the Gate Cyber Expand, if not straight up Gate Expand. Meanwhile, Art is going for a 2-gate opener, standard opener, back at home. Okay, so it's going to be up to Art to punish. We'll see if Art can punish Shameless. We'll see how greedy Shameless is going to be. For now, going for the Cybercore. So Gate into Cybercore into Nexus. Again, only one gas in the main, so he's not going Stargate before Expand. And there it is. There is that Nexus. And Art checking his vision, setting up for the proxy. Let's go. So again, we were expecting a proxy out of Art. He does mine through the patches here on the right-hand side, going for the center, going for this center proxy location, looking to go for a proxy Stargate, which should not be an all-in. Should not be an all-in. In super late games, doesn't matter. One good fight and Yakov wins. Kind of. I think that comment is referring to Proxy Robo. Well, base all-in. Proxy Robo. He's gonna send it. I'm gonna send it. When it comes to, I think that's in reference to Banks. As Jesus, Shameless does scout, does see everything. I mean, hey, he did see the opening earlier, but I think that's in regards to like the bank and in regards to the economy. That's kind of true. Like, if you're referring to like being forced into an all-in where you have no bank but you have a maxed out army, like you need to take a fight. You need to not just win a fight, you need to take a fight on your opponent's side of the map, but close enough to their production where you can take that fight, then immediately counterattack and try to go for the production as well. But that is very difficult to achieve, especially if your opponent has a high enough gateway count, just because they can reactively warp in, right? It takes a long time to replenish a Robo and Skytoss-based composition just because of limitations in production. But when it comes to, like, that's why, like, a gateway count is important, though, to be able to reinforce, to be able to have an army in that kind of situation. So that's kind of true, kind of. There's like an asterisk next to that one. For now, though, here we go. We have the robot. We have the one-way soul in. We have how many gates so far? 2 gateways. So we haven't thrown down the 3rd gateway yet. Looks like RT can. Never mind. I was gonna say, like, we'll see where he goes from here. From here, he does drop into the main. Sentry's in position. Adepts are going for the mineral line, and so far, Shameless does pull away. Does pull away. Gets a probe. No major damage yet. And remember, the longer this game goes on, the better it is for Shameless. Shield batteries are finishing up. Prism does double back. But it's not enough. Yeah, we're not getting any damage here. It's not happening. Shameless will shut this down. And Art is expanding. That's what I was curious about. Again, the gateway count was only 2 gates. He didn't get a 3rd gateway, didn't get a 4th gateway. So Art, he has the opportunity to actually expand behind this. But this is a very late expansion here for Art. Very late for here. For now, he's going to be forced out of the bases. And Art is behind. You may be looking at this and be like, oh hey, the probe counts are actually in favor of Art. That is true, but that doesn't really mean much here. Shameless is making 2 probes at a time. Shameless has better saturation. Shameless does have the better economy. Again, it's on Art to get some more damage here, as he's looking for a way into the bases. He's looking for a way in. Stalker's out of position. Okay. Gets one more probe. Meanwhile, we'll take a volley to the face, but the prison does get away. And Art, he's maintaining himself. He's taking his own natural base. He's catching up. This I was expecting Shameless going for a Stargate, not a Twilight Council first. Okay, interesting. He was on a 3-gate setup. I mean, the Stargate is a secure way to shut down the Prism, I suppose. I'm not sure how well it scales, though, as we do bleed out 3 more probes. Prism does get away. Nice damage here from Art. Now he's slowly building up. Slowly, the damage is building up, I should emphasize. 8 probe kills in favor of Art. Okay. Let's go. There we go. We have the Phoenix that's on the way. But no Twilight Council, no Blink. Art taking a tech lead, getting to Blink himself. Like, I'm not really convinced by the follow-up here. Like, there are other ways to deal with this Prism. And he rotates into the natural. Shameless, out of position. More probes are going to be falling. Este Art. There we go, gets another probe, gets another 2. The Prism will finally go down. There's a recall. Saves the Prism even. An upstate busts into the main, and this is getting out of hand. This is becoming game-ending damage. 7, 8 probe kills. And look at the traits here. That's gonna be 16 probes for 3 adepts. That's crazy damage. It took a while. Again, it slowly built up over time, but 16 probes do go down. And now Art, he's expanding. He does maintain his economic lead. Now from here, getting to +1, greater upgrades, Blink, Immortals have been building up as well. So he's going to have a robust army. Art, he's in a beautiful position. The Oracle does get some counter damage though. Okay. Takes down 4 workers. So Shameless, he has the opportunity to recover. I say the opportunity, there's just so much working against him. On the one hand, there's a world where this Oracle maybe gets 16 probes, right? Maybe, like, we can wreak havoc, we can get some worker damage. The problem, though, is the tech, right? The problem is the Immortal count, the Blink Stalkers, the soon-to-be +1 advantage as well. Like, the army's just going to be superior here for Art. Likewise, he's up in expansion, so even if we see economic damage, Art, he can still maintain a worker lead. So there's a lot that Shameless has to overcome. Defensively, he'll have shield batteries. And technically, Art, he doesn't have to push in. Right now, he's rotating. You can see, he just checked the northern 3rd base. Now he's checking the linear 3rd. And he's moving in. He doesn't have to, but he's pushing in. Here, takes out a sentry. Pulls away, forces out some force fields. Did I open predictions in the chat? Ooh, my apologies. I think I did. Okay. Just wasn't too sure. Wasn't too sure. Yeah, As from here, Shameless, again, he's just contained on 2 bases. We have a massive gateway explosion, getting up to, I believe, 8? Yeah. So it's going to be a 2-base 8-gate all-in out of Shameless. It's the only way to really have a chance in this game, just because it's getting worse and worse over time. Does catch us some Stalkers. Likewise, again, he's fighting within range of his own shield batteries. This is the one advantage that Shameless has, is fighting within range. The shield batteries are putting in a lot of work. Cyber goes under fire. Behind this, Art is taking up into towards Disruptors. Getting a greater army. And again, there's no rush for Art. Art can just poke in, pick up a unit, back off, take it slow. There's no rush. Ooh, as the Oracle goes down. Brutal pickoff. Oh no, Art, he scarred someone in the chat. Make sure that you're referring to the correct Art. Bearing in mind there are multiple Arts in StarCraft, in the pro scene. There's Art, not to be confused with Art, who's all capitals. Not to be confused with the other Art, that I think is all lowercase. There you go. Does catch one of the Immortals. Not a bad engagement initially here from Shameless, but the Nova goes off. Does connect with one Archon. And more reinforcements coming in. The Archons, they do tank quite well. And they're trying to work their way through, but now we're down to 2 Archons. And you can see Shameless is bleeding out too many units here, diving on the main on the Prism. Does go for the dive, takes down the Prism, takes down the Immortal as well, but the Zealots are trading well. And he does get us around. And nicely done here with the Zealots. Takes down the Stalkers. Again, that was a questionable dive out of Art. And Shameless is breaking through. He does break through, does take the better engagement, the better fight. Again, Art, he got a little bit too excited. We can see Art taking another expansion. Now is not the time. Art being a little bit greedy here. And GG gets called a little bit too greedy, and a rough fight towards the end. And Shameless, he pops off, takes game number 1. Whew. GG, well played. An intense game there for Shameless. Again, it was all or nothing with that 2-base all-in. He was able to tank well and also able to trade well against those Stalkers. Zealots, they can be so efficient against a Stalker-based army. This is where Archons are ideal against something like Chargeless. Chargeless, they're just a more efficient force. Archons, they can likewise trade even better. But we saw that Art wasn't really teching. He wasn't teching, he was expanding, he was getting into the base. Rushing into Disruptors was, I would say, a very greedy option there for Art, whereas a more standard kind of game would lead you into Archons and lead you into a more robust arm with Charge and Archon. Here, rushing into Disruptors was a bold move. Was a bold move. Art, it felt like he was maybe a little bit overconfident there after taking a lead, and he was ahead, right? To be fair, he was ahead, he was in a better position, but maybe a little bit too comfortable. And with that, GG well played. With that, we're getting into our next game, and we'll see if Art can recover. We'll see if Shameless can close it out here and now. Let's go. Let us go. Yes. So getting into Ultra Love, a much smaller map of the map pool. Much smaller map. And just like the previous map, we also have a ramp coming into the natural. So Shameless will also be, I mean, both players are going to be tempted to go for these more economic starts. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have the blue Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Team Little Fairy, leading the series 1-0. It is Shameless. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the pink Protoss player. We have the Polish Protoss representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Art. And this time, both players are setting up on the low ground. Oh boy. We have our low ground setups. With this, we should both be looking for some more economic starts from Gate, Cyber Expand, or just straight up Gate Expand. We'll keep an eye on the gases. We could see a faster Stargate, of course. We'll see if both players can block each other and delay each other's expansions. As probes are moving out. And again, the goal of these workers should be to delay the expand. It should be to force out earlier tech and disrupt the opener. Let's go. Probes are moving out. Bin. Ooh, there's an exit straight away before Cybercore. So clutch move there by Art, cutting corners, being greedy, gets away with it. Meanwhile, Art is in position and he will force out the Cybercore from Shameless. Likewise, second gas has been taken. Art, he can try to force out the Zealots, get a pylon, force out the Stargate. So Art, he will have the economic edge over Shameless. And the pressure is going to be on Shameless to make up for that. Here we go. That says that's Stargate. There's digital Stargate. Now again, with a Stargate opener, you have access to the early Oracle, so you can harass across the map. You can get into the mineral lines. Shameless sets up his own pylon. Let's go. Shows the shield battery. Oh, as he will win this fight. Oh my god. There we go. Shield batteries on the way. Backup shield battery as well. So far, 2 shield batteries. Are throwing down his own. Zeld has arrived, and again, the goal here is to kill the pylon. If he can break the pylon, he can end the game. So again, a big commitment here from Shameless. Remember, he has no expansion, not yet. Does focus on the first shield battery. Does bring it down. Nice pick up from Shameless. His own shield batteries are finishing up. There's no shield batteries here for Art. Ay. No shield batteries. More adepts are rallying across. The Oracle's on the way. The Oracle's on the way, but the Stalker count is getting higher and higher here. I'm not too convinced. Not with this kind of setup. If Art had opened with the Stargate, then I could see this working. Oh, we'll see there. Goes to the mineral line. Gets a probe. Does threaten the shade, going for another shield battery. But again, now we have 4 Stalkers. Like, it does cancel. The Oracle's on its way towards the main. There's a shield battery position. We'll buy some time. Does buy time. The Oracle doesn't get damage done. Shameless now forced to expand. And this was interesting aggression here. Winding it back as a reminder, like what this works really well against is a Stargate opener, but that's not what Art had gone for. He went for extra gateways, extra Stalkers. So Art, he will defend. It's a messy setup here, but a defense nonetheless. Oh, double Oracle to the main, not bad. 2 Oracles, they can watch your workers. 5 probes do go down. Nice damage, saves both Oracles. Save the Oracles, double adept into the bases as well. Shade in, you can watch your probes. And he does get, 2 probes. 2 workers barely go down. And as it does settle, Shameless does have a slight worker edge, or slight worker lead, true. Slightly ahead in workers. Behind this, a building of Immortals, going for his own Twilight Council. Blink is already on the way for Art. Again, it was a messy start. It's very messy. We're getting there. We're looking to stabilize. The Oracles are still alive, bear that in mind. So there's still 2 Oracles here for Shameless, so we can still go back in and get some more damage. Hallucination does get a glimpse of that. Likewise, are checking for the 3rd. 2 more gates on the way. So far, just a 4-gate setup, so nothing major yet. But if he throws out more gateways, then that would be indicative of an all-in. Oh, nice catch. Gets one, gets both. Takes out both oracles. Late reaction out of Shameless. Alright, he does shut him down. Claiming his third base. Shameless, what are we going for? He's throwing into 2 more gateways. He's committing. Yeah, he's doubling down. So he had 4 gates. Now he's getting up to 6 gateways. He chooses not to expand. Not yet. And this is looking more and more like a 2-base all-in out of Shameless. Meanwhile, Art's going for the Dark Shrine. Going for Dark Templar. Likewise is being active with the Stalkers. Shameless does spot the army. Alright, he's still checking for the expansion. You can see here he checks the linear third. Checks the triangular third as well. Now he can blink into the main. But there's a stasis. Does he notice? Oh, he doesn't know! He does not notice! Blinks in and he's gonna get caught out. Ah, no. Ah, smiley face. Ay, ay, ay. Remember, he just blinked as well, so it's going to be on cooldown. And the Immortals are lying in wait. They're lying in wait. Prism is back. It was far back enough, I should say. Oh, going for the Immortal. Gonna try to blink out. So remember, blink is on cooldown, and he will lose everything. Yeah, he'll lose everything. Oh my god. He'll escape with 2 Stalkers, maybe 1. Oh god. He escapes with 1 Stalker. Ay, ay, ay. Brutal losses. That was 9 Stalkers going down. Meanwhile, remember, there's already a Robo, there's already a Detection. There's 1 Observer here for Shameless, but there's no Observer back at home. These DTs, they can wreak havoc. Meanwhile, here comes Shameless, battling everything across the map. DTs are walling in. They can one-shot probes. Probes are going down, Observers on the way. Shameless, who's already all in, now even more so. As that's going to be game-ending economic damage. He's going for it. Dives into the main base. Archer has his pylon. Takes down the pylon, depowers everything. Takes over the main. Meanwhile, we have defensive warpins. Nice side with the Immortal. Yeah, already stuck on the low ground. He cannot push up this ramp. Up the Prism! Can he get it? He can! Prism goes down! Yeah, big overextension from Shameless. That should not have happened. We'll lose the War Prism. From here, though, does force his way through, takes down the Immortal. Remember, there's no juggling, there's no control. First Immortal goes down, so does the second. Now we're trading. Yeah, we're trading on Immortals. So start down 1, targets down the other as well. And Shameless, who does win that fight, once again takes over the main. At the same time, DTs are still wreaking havoc, just now being cleaned up. Shameless down to 7 probes. Oh my god. Down to 7 workers, and the longer this goes on, the better it is for Arts. He just needs more warpins. And he's getting them as well. They can pull the boys, they can tank some shots. Stalkers are getting low. They're getting very low. Nice spin control. I mean, Shameless still has the overwhelming army. Looking at Unistab here, 11 to 7. 11 Stalkers. Zelta rallying. The slow lots, let's go. There's the NG overcharge. We have the shield battery to defend. And with these warpins, Art, he's building up an army. Remember, he has a third base as well. He has cannons, he has shield batteries. Shameless forces to dive in. The boys are being pulled. And Art, he should defend. Like, Art, he should barely have enough here. Just barely. Yeah, GG gets called, and Art, he will hold, he will defend, and Art, he will tie up the series. We are going to the ace match. Whew, GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. And again, clutch moves there out of Art. Honestly, I can see a world where if the DTs didn't cripple the economy, if the Prism had survived, then Shameless, he can afford Warpins. Like, bearing in mind that that was an all-in, and that was an army that could not be reinforced, and likewise, he couldn't juggle, he couldn't micro, he couldn't save his immortals either. Like, losing that War Prism, I should maybe emphasize, even without the Warpins, even if the Prism was there just to micro back some units, that could have been the game as well, if he had been able to micro and save his immortals and make use of that War Prism in other ways. That might have been enough. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're getting into the ace match. We're getting into game 3. And we'll see how the story ends. Let's go. It's been a very intense series so far. Very intense. Non-stop 2-base all-ins out of Shameless. I will say that game 1, it feels like he was kind of forced into a 2-base all-in. Here in game 2, you could argue something similar. It feels like it was a little bit more planned, a little bit more methodical from Shameless. But now coming into game 3, we'll see what the plan is going to be here. We'll see if Art is going to be more of the aggressor. We'll see if Shameless does change things up as well. As game 3 is going to be on Tokamak. No boy. Let's go. Let us go. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Tokamak, we have the blue Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Team Little Fairy being forced into the ace match. Can he bring it back? It is Shameless. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the pink Protoss player, the Polish Protoss, representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Art. Let's go. Here we go. So players are setting up. Moving out. And for the first time, we're loading into a map that doesn't have a ramp coming into the natural. If you recall, that was the case on both Torches and on Ultra Love as well. So this time, for the first time, Shameless going for a 2-gate opener. So 2-gate opener out of Shameless. Again, this is map specific. Hello. As Shameless, he does veer off course. He does veer off. Bearing in mind that, again, every game so far, Shameless has gone for more economic starts, but here on Tokamak, we're going to be opening up with a fake or with a proxy pylon. We'll see how hard we commit. We'll see if we go for the proxy rope. We'll see if we commit to the rope. We'll see if we commit to the all-in. Our eyes are on Shameless. Bearing in mind that Art, he is counting pylons. He does confirm that the pylon is missing in the main, so he's fully aware that something is wrong. That could be a real proxy pylon or a fake proxy instead. It's up to Art to determine this. As he moves down, he checks further back in the main. Cybercore is done. Show us the Robo. Yep, there it is. Robo is on the way. It's going to be the 1-base all-in out of Shameless. Behind this Art opening up Double Adept. Does open Double Adept, and he will scout the position, will scout the center expand. Again, there's a very common proxy location, whether it's on this side or the other, or even here on the left-hand side. And Art, he will find this, he will confirm, and now he knows. And reactively, he can start a Void Ray. It is going to be a Stargate on 1 base. We have a safety shield battery on the high ground. It does cancel. But again, with the Stargate, he can opt to go for the Void Ray, or he could still try to go Oracle first. It will be risky, very risky, to go Oracle, but you can try to get away with it. Prism is on the way. And he does think about it for a moment. There we go. Oracle first. He did cancel to afford the shield battery, but now the Oracle is on the way. And again, this is to harass across the map. This is to force the all-in, to cripple the economy. Speaking of adepts, they're getting caught out. They're getting caught. Barely does shade away. Prism into the main. Going for the mineral line. Shameless, does spot the Oracle. Now we're going for the Void Ray again. A bit of a later Void Ray out of Art. And this Oracle will at least force a shield battery and ideally will force a defensive warp in. Every unit counts this early on. but again, this also means how much less to defend back at home. So we'll see if Shameless can pull this off. That's arrived. Oracle into the main. From Mugen goes for the stasis. Never mind, going for the pulsar beam. Gateway taking a lot of hits. Here comes that Void Ray. He can try to go for the Prism. Now he's on hold position. Oh. Playing with fire. Has to be careful. Oracle pulls away. Down goes the first Gateway. As hard as supply blocked. Ooh, now is not the time. But a brutal supply block. Again, Art down to 1 Gateway, 1 Stargate. Working towards a Robo. Adaptation into the Mineral Line. Probe is going to be going down, at least no longer supply blocked. There's 3 probes. As the army does bust in. Takes down 2 shield batteries. Not bad. Takes down 2, but now he's up against a Void Ray. Does he have enough to work through this? There's no more shield batteries. Boys are being pulled. And it's going to be close. Trying to lock him in. Trying to lock him down. Nice juggling. Nice control. Yeah, saves the Stalkers and Art. He's doing it. Sorry, Shameless even. He is doing it. He's breaking through. Breaks through the side defense. Again, no shield batteries. The boys are being pulled and the juggling was just too good. And Shameless, he has done it. He has broken the back of Art. Again, the Oracle across the map wasn't quite worth it. So GG gets called, and with that, Shameless, he will break through the main, and he will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played, congratulations, as Shameless does claim the series, does take down Art. Again, a very intense back and forth. Shameless hyper aggressive every game. We saw a lot of 2 base all-ins out of Shameless here. We saw a 1 base all-in as well. It was risky of Art to go for the initial Oracle across the map. In the end, I mean, he forced a shield battery. There was 1 Stalker back at home, but didn't really achieve too much. Likewise, we saw, unfortunately, Art, he was pulled apart. Even though he was in the main base, because of the Adept shading into the Mineral Line, he drew his entire army into his main base, into his main Mineral Line, I should say, which exposed his shield batteries. And we saw that as he was defending his Mineral Line, he lost both shield batteries at the ramp, which means he had that much less to defend, and the fight went that much worse for him as he tried to make a stand. GG. GG, well played. He was torn apart, and with that, we are now going to be getting into the upper semis. Let's go. Exclamation mark and be in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the back yourselves. Let's catch up on the bracket. Let's figure out where we are and where we are headed. As again, we have non-stop PvPs, and we are getting into our next one. It is going to be on the American server. Let's go. Beautiful. Here we go. So again, Creator and Jumy. Creator takes down Rebellion 2-0, and of course Jumy took down YoungYakov 2-1. So we have the upper semis. The upper semifinals are ready for us here. They've been patiently waiting, and we are about to jump in to determine who will face off against Shameless in the finals. Let's go. Who is it going to be? As again, PvPs, they can be quite intense. They can be quite dynamic. We'll see how our 2 players are going to approach this. Randomly unlocking the best sub-beat mode. Ah, not like this. Oh no. It's crazy. Okay, beautiful. Okay, we're in. Just waiting for our players. Predictions, of course, will soon be open, and we'll see who will face off against Shameless in those finals. Who's it going to be? So just updating the score. Beautiful. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Persephone, we have the German Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Streamer Zone. It is Jumy. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Protoss player from the land of South Korea. It is a Creator. And if you're in the chat, predictions are open. Place your bets. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. Coming into this, Creator is the #1 seed of the tournament. 100%. He's the #1 seed of the tournament. But what I will say is that upsets can and will happen. You know, especially in the PvP, players like Jumy, players like Shameless, I do want to believe they can threaten Creator. They can take maps, and they could even take series. Of course, they still have to be on their A game. Like, I still favor Creator overall. But if they can peak, if they can bring their best, then they can bring him down. I would say that either Jumy or Shameless taking a series is not out of the realm of possibility. There's definitely a chance. Definitely a chance. So best of luck with your Gamba. Best of luck. So we are getting into our first game. So far, 2-gate opener here out of Jumy. Oh, hello. Creator going for the gateway into Cybercore into expansion. No second gateway out of Creator. Actually, my apologies, going gate expand. Okay. Bold move. Bold move by Creator. Very greedy build. Very greedy start out of our red Protoss player. And Jumy setting up for what looks to be a fake proxy pylon. Jumy, he doesn't probe scout. If he probe scouted, he could react to this. He could react and respond with a proxy with an all-in. Technically, this could be a real proxy pylon. Based on its location, we could still go for something crazy like a proxy Twilight Council into Dark Shrine into DTs. Show us what you got. Waiting for the Cybercore. Cybercore is still on the way. Creator is moving in. And yep, as we mentioned, the Twilight Council, which screams proxy Dark Shrine. Again, we assume this just because a proxy rover or Stargate would be closer because it's a production building. If you're hiding a pylon and a probe in the corner, then it's not going to be production, it's going to be tech instead. Or fake out, one or the other. So going for the Twilight Council. Now, thankfully for Creator, he does go for a robo defensively. He scouts, he sees that a pylon is missing. Like, he knows something is wrong. He doesn't know what's going on. It could be proxy robo, could be a Stargate. We can see that he's fanning out here to try to get a bit of information. And now Jumy knows. Yeah, he sees the base is already done. He sees the green. Oh my god, and we are not going for the proxy Dark Shrine. There's, of course, no probe in position. We're going into Glaives? What is this? Are we going 1 base 4-gate glaive at Eps? Is that happening right now? In a PvP? Okay. Let him cook, Pappy. Let him cook. Ooh, as one adept does get into the main. Denies mining. We do have a 3rd gateway for now. And a proxy 4th, so it's going to be at 4-gate glaives. With a disrupted economy. And back at home, Creator is building up Immortals. Checking Jumy's vision. He is not aware. He's not aware if it's a Stargate or a Robo as an opener. Should be one or the other. Jumy's still trying to shade in. Creator building up his army. Is building up. You can see Creator double checking to see if there's an expansion. So he will get eyes on reinforcements. Yep, no Nexus. Nexus. More shield batteries on the way. As Jumy just doubling down. Show us what you got. I'll be honest, I'm not fully convinced by the Mass Adept. But I do know that, of course, Immortals, they don't do a great job focusing down Adepts. Like, Adepts, they're quite robust. They're very robust units. Against Immortals specifically. Glaives are now done. Tries to shade in. He can try to focus down the wall. Going for the sentries. He gets one, he gets two. Takes out both sentries. Does focus down the warping and stalkers. And now he's going for the Immortal. Stalker does go down, and eventually he will bring down the Immortal as well. Oh my god, shades in. He shades in. Yeah, gets into the mineral line. Probe's going to be falling. Nicely done. He avoids the main fight. Takes out 8 probes. Very nice damage. Now he's going for the other mineral line. Okay, he's once again going for the other mineral line, and this is how he ends the game. Going for the economy. Now going for the Immortal even. But the Immortal, yeah, out of shield battery NG. There's the overcharge. Immortal goes down, and Jumy, has he done it? Has he? He has. He has done it at this point. 23 probe kills. I wasn't too convinced, but again, did a great job of just pulling him apart. GG gets called, and Jumy with the one base 4-gate Glaive Adepts takes game number 1. Whew, GG. GG, well played. A quirky build here out of Jumy, very quirky, but specifically against Immortals, I can see it excelling. As we were mentioning, Immortals, they do a great job at shooting down and defending against other Immortals, or specifically against Stalkers, right? They're amazing against Stalkers. Meanwhile, a big reason why these 2-base Glaive Immortal all-ins work so well is that Glaive Adepts, they do a great job tanking shots against Immortals, against Stalkers alike as well. It takes a lot of hits to bring them down. So with a swarm of Glaive Adepts, you can overwhelm. They just struggle against other forms of units, of course. They struggle against more of a charged heavy or even Archon heavy composition in a longer and later game. But here, yeah, we saw the Jumy. He was able to at least break through that wall and just bounce back and forth between the bases, pulling Creator apart, and did cripple the economy and cripple the army. GG. GG, well played. Very impressive play there by Jumy. Again, quirky build, a build that we don't often see. 1-base Glaive all-in PvP, but worked well. And now he's one game away from causing the upset here as spawning in the bottom hand corner. We have the man of the hour himself. We have the German Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Streamer Zone, leading the series 1-0. It is Jumy. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss. Currently down in the series, and he's favored to win it all. He was the #1 seed of the tournament, but now he's down in this matchup. Can he bring it back and force the ace match? It is a Creator. Let's go. Let's go. Because we are going to be setting up. And I don't expect to see Jumy do the same build again, not at all. Don't expect to see it again. But we have a lot of variety available to us here in PvP, especially on Tokamak. Tokamak is one of the larger maps in that pool. There's a lot of spaces here to try to hide some tech and hide a proxy. Probes are being sent out. Hello, Creator. What's going on? Are we going to be throwing down... I mean, it looks like both players are going to be committing. Here we go. We have the pylon for Creator and the pylon for Jumy. One feels more real than the other, though. I will say that. As Jumy throws down his own pylon on his side of the map, does move out to scout, so it looks like a fake proxy pylon out of Jumy. Meanwhile, Creator's looks very real. Very real. Based on this position, what's it going to be? We're going for the 1-base all-in. Let's go. We have 2 gates back at home. We have 1 gate across the map. 3 gateways so far. So Creator does poke in. At the same time, so does Jumy. Jumy, he will also scout. He will also confirm that the pylon is missing, so he would be aware that something is wrong. Something is amiss. Jumy is going for the proxy proxy Twilight Council once again. This time he's keeping the probe with the proxy, so this time there's a higher chance it's going to be DTs. Oh, but Creator, he's searching. He's on the hunt. Now, there's a lot going on here. One, Jumy is going for the proxy pylon here, so he can throw down a gateway across the map, or he can throw down his tech, of course. What's it going to be? Stalker's to engage, and Jumy, he does take the better trade. Takes out a Stalker. Yeah, better trade for Jumy. Rough start for Creator. Ay, ay, ay. Now, it's going to be DC. It's going to be a Dark Shrine. And what's scary about what's happening here? Zero detection. There's no proxy robo, right? We were assuming it was going to be a proxy robo for 1-base all-in. It's purely a gateway composition, so there's no detection. And this might just be game. This might just be game here. I mean, we do see a nice round. Very nice setup here from Creator. Taking down 3, 4 Stalkers. Oh my god. Does bring them down, and ideally he forces a defensive warp in. Defensive warp in of Dark Templar. Dark Shrine is still in the way. Jumy, he's in danger, he's in trouble, he got surrounded. Warping in sentries, going for the force field, but does force field one stalker away, but only one poison being pulled. Jumy's in danger. Yeah, again, Jumy got a little bit too cavalier. Got caught out. Down to 0 stalkers. Nice round on 1. But Creator, he's overwhelmed. He's just overwhelmed with the army, overwhelmed with the economy. As he's still got 5 stalkers. On the one hand, yes, we have potential for Dark Shrine, but it doesn't matter here. There's nothing. There's just nothing here. There's nothing to defend. And Creator, he has done it. He will just break through. Just forcing his way into the main base. Force field runs out. Now, can we I guess we can try to force a tie. Nah, even then though. The problem here, so these stalkers will eventually kill every probe. They should eventually kill every worker. At the same time, this DT should also do the same. But the robo's on the way. Yeah, robo's on the way. Defensive DT back. Okay, defensive DTs. Jumy, he can hold back at home. Meanwhile, nice force field, buying some time. The robo is now done. And all the Creator needs is that one observer. There it is, the observer is on the way. Another force field. And this will win Creator the game. There was potential. If there was no robo, there was potential here for Jumy. But yeah, the observer arrives. GG gets called. Creator, he defends. And Creator ties with the series. We are going to the ace match. Whew. GG. Hi. GG, well played. We're going all the way to game number 3. Again, a very intense back and forth here. And there was potential for the Dark Templar, for sure. There was potential. But last Creator, he had the wherewithal to set up a robo defensively. He was also able to catch out the stalkers in the center of the map. If it wasn't for that surround, if it wasn't for that catch, then maybe he would have been preoccupied focusing on the fight and trying to focus on pure stalker production. But he was able to catch Jumy out. And with that, we're going to game 3. Let's go. Let us go. As game 3 is going to be on Maganatha. Here we go. And I expect another short game, to be honest. I expect some more aggressive builds here from our players. From Creator as well, based on how the series has been progressing. I mean, I say that we're going to be loading into Maganatha. It is the largest map in the map pool. Longer rush distance by ground. But there's a lot of places to proxy, a lot of places to throw down some tech. What's it going to be? As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Maganatha, we have the German Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Streamer Zone. It is Jumy. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss tying up the series 1-1. It is a Creator. We go. We've already gotten what I wanted, an ace match, a game 3 between Jumy and Creator. But how exactly does the story end? Here to find out. So now we're setting up back at home. Creator does move out with his probe. Now Jumy, of course, he's aware that Creator is willing to go for some cheese and go for some all-ins and be hyper-aggressive. The player's going for 2 gate openers. Probe is fanning out towards the right-hand side. This looks like a prime location for a proxy Stargate. Oh, but Jumy does scouts. He scouts, he confirms, he gets eyes on the probe. Yeah, he will deny. If we had plans here for a pylon, Jumy will deny. Second pylon for Jumy. Jumy with the XD. Yeah, with that, he's forcing a standard game. There we go. Pylons are in the bases. And for the first time this series, we might just freely expand. Ooh, as we come in for the surround, a very cheeky move. Cheeky move there by Jumy. Surrounds the probe. Este Jumy. No shot. Are we going for a delayed all in? Nice, just going in for the scouts. Stargate open at a Jumy, Stargate open at a Creator. This is a pylon block. Delaying the expand. Jumy pulls away. At least he tries to. And unfortunately, no one is scouted. So what I'm getting by that... Oh. TB. What I mean by that is that no one has scouted each other's Stargate, so otherwise we could see Phoenixes, right? We could see Phoenixes from both players, but neither player has seen anything. So we're seeing Oracles. Oracles are on the way. Jumy does threaten the shade. He gets a probe. Ooh, force a recall. It does recall back home. A bit of a delayed Oracle here from Jumy. Creator baiting out the army. The Oracle's moving in. Just keeping the traction going. The Oracle diving here on the wall. Does break it down, and then they're busting in. They're busting into the main base shield, whatever he's in position. Does try to buy some time. Probes are going to be going down. He gets one, he gets two probes so far. Two, not quite three. Oh, the Oracle goes down. Better defense here from Jumy, only losing 2 workers. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, but back at home, there are Phoenixes. Okay, back at home, there are Phoenixes. Jumy has recalls on cooldown. He will lose the Oracle for free. So a bit of a back and forth here. Creator expanding across the map. Going for the unnatural natural, as there is still a pylon out here at the natural base. So we're getting a little bit messy. On the one hand, Jumy he has a better economy, slightly better economy here. On the other hand, later expansion. Meanwhile, Creator he does harass. Jumy rallying everything across the map. Jumy supply block though. Uh-oh. Jumy supply blocked. It does have a proxy pylon across the map. Jumy rallying across. He does have eyes on the base, and he wants the natural. He wants the natural base. See if he can get it. Phoenix as they recall back home. But Jumy has a massive ground army. Brings down the pylon. Oracle into the main. Stasis only gets a couple of workers. 3 probes to get caught. 3 probes in the main. Press nice lift here on the sentry. Takes down the first sentry. Stalker's going to be stuttering in. They get one of the Phoenixes. And there's 3 Stalkers remaining. But it looks like Creator, he barely has enough. He will hold. He'll be able to hold on. Phoenixes, they do add a lot of, they add a lot of complexity here. They'll defend, they lift. Down to 3 Stalkers. But there are more Warpins though. Jumy, does he have enough? They're running out of energy. And no more energy, no more lifts. Down to 2 Stalkers. Jumy, he barely is breaking through. It's still so close. From here, there's no energy overcharge, not yet. Boys are being pulled. Force the Kai back. Behind this is on 3 gateways. He's on 3 gates. He has an expansion. Does have a worker lead, and Jumy backs off. Whew, okay, Jumy pulls away, working towards Blink, throwing down extra gateways, and the game continues. The game does continue. And I do want to give Jumy the edge here, just because of Blink. Like, Blink is going to be a big power spike here for Jumy, just because it allows his army to be that much more flexible, that much more mobile. Meanwhile, Creator has Phoenixes, so he can harass, he can poke in. Can go for Mineral Alliance, or even just... Again, help defend and pick up some key units. Gets a probe. So probe pulls out. Meanwhile, pylon is now done. And Jumy, he's going in once again. He's going for the second wave, this time with Blink. And look at the army sizes. He has double the Stalker counts. The Immortal will help, for sure. The Immortal will help in the defense, but the Immortal is a lot more delayed. The Immortal production just now begun. And here come the Stalker army. And Jumy, I'm not so sure he can hold against this. Oof. Brutal loss on the first Stalker, on the Sentry as well. Do you have a bit of a back and forth trade? And boys are being pulled. Nice target firing. Going for the Stalkers. It does Herx them down. Bleeding out a lot of Stalkers here. But he's still trading, and he's still out-trading Creator. Yeah, GG gets called. There's just too many Stalkers here, and Jumy, he will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the grand finals. Whew, GG. Este Jumy. GG, well played. Jumy, he does claim the series. He will take down Creator. A big win here for Jumy. Does bring him down. Does advance on to the finals. Again, hyper aggressive. Hyper aggressive series, hyper aggressive matchup here. Non-stop aggression, non-stop all-ins. And we did have it. Jumy barely coming out on top. Again, with some more interesting builds, more interesting play. Creator at times was in a stronger position, but here, for example, we saw the Creator was forced into an awkward expansion. Likewise, he was stuck on Phoenixes. His own follow-up tech was delayed, whether it was his own Twilight Council or his own Robo. Was much later, was a much more difficult defense, and was torn apart. GG, well played. Whew. With that, Jumy does claim the series, and we have our grand finals. It's going to be a PvP between Jumy and Shameless. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go as we're getting into our into our next series. Of course, before that, we do have a bit of a raffle. We have La Rifa. We have La Rifa. Let's go. As I do need a moment to set it up. One moment. As research seems over. Again, for those that are curious, for those that are maybe watching for the first time, you might not be familiar with this, but every single week here in the Sparkling Tuna Cup, we do have a raffle. We have a random raffle where one random player does get some extra prize money, does gain 5 USD here. This week we have 15 eligible players, and one of them will walk away a little bit richer. Now again, everyone has an equal chance to actually earn that prize money, whether it's a finalist like Jumy or like Shameless, or someone that get knocked out in the first round. All are equally eligible here for the random raffle. As we do randomize our players. Of course, there is one player that did forfeit this week, which was Triple. So Triple, he is ineligible. He's ineligible here for the raffle, but everyone else, fair game. Fair game. As this week our random raffle champion, our random raffle winner is is another European Protoss. Not quite Jumy, not quite Shameless, but congratulations to Ledlix! Exclamation mark rigged in the chat. As Ledlix, the Italian Protoss player, does walk away with 5 USD. Congratulations! Shout to Jumy. Shout to Jumy, as Jumy comes in as second place runner-up. I see Norbash there as well. Art, Sig, and Rebellion. Oh boy. As Lelix does claim the win. Congratulations. Congratulations. Let's go. Also, I messaged Jumy about the one-base glaive build, and he's like, "It's an Imba secret build." He said, as we assumed, he said it's meant to hard counter like Robo expands, like faster economy into Robo opener, Robo base opener, or 3-gate. It struggles against Stargate openers or Twilight Council play as well. So he was gambling a little bit, but he was fine. He was fine. But here we go. We're getting into our grand finals. Welcome to our best of 5. We have our top 2 players here for the weekend. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of ley lines, we have the German Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Streamer Zone. It is Jumy. And spawning in the bottom left corner, we have the red Protoss player representing Team Little Fairy. It is Shameless. Oh no. The banter. He's threatening him with Proxy 2 Forge. Not get the cannons away from me. Not like this. If you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It's Gamma time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chats. Coming into this, who do we favor here? Now, both players are hyper aggressive in their own way. Remember, Shameless, he went for non-stop 2-base all-ins and that 1-base all-in against Art in the Ace match, if you recall as well. Meanwhile, Jumy was also hyper aggressive. For now, we have 2-gate opener out of Jumy, 2-gate opener out of Shameless. Do we finally get to see a standard game? Do we finally get to see some macro out of these 2 players? It's possible at some point in the series. For now, keeping our eyes on the workers. We're looking for the second pylons. Active, we are searching. But again, best of luck with your predictions. Best of luck. Veneto, remember, este di Mega. Oye, ¿a dónde está di Mega? ¿A dónde está mi di Mega pack? Where is the Mega in the brackets? We have Protoss players from everywhere, but where's mi di Mega? Ay. Shaking my head. Catching up in the chat. Said Jumy with no idea. I think I do lean towards Jumy, but like I think for some greater context here, Shameless, he 2-0'd Estrella a couple days ago, right? Less than a week ago in the Pegasus Cup. Like that was a big win for Shameless, bearing in mind that Estrella's been he's been in tip-top form as of late for EWC. As pylons are being denied, both players are expanding. Let's go. We have Nexus, we have bases, we have expansions, we have macro pack, we have macro. Let's go. So for the first time, Jumy is taking a natural, right? Did he ever expand? No, he did. Yeah, he did get a natural. Okay. At one point, I think in the last series, at one point. But no proxy, no pylon, no proxy. Both players are expanding. We have a Twilight Council out of Shameless, Twilight Council out of Jumy. So far, everything's looking normal, everything's looking standard. Compared to both previous semifinals, this is a rare sight. A rare sight so far. I say so far because if you remember Shameless, he was going for a bunch of 2-base all-ins against Art. That was very prevalent in their series. But for now, at least everything's looking normal. Hallucinations will confirm. Jumy scouts the Twilight Council. Shameless also scouts the Twilight Council as well. They both spot each other. Oh, as we're going Twilight Council into a Dark Shrine. Bold move here by Jumy, especially considering it's not proxied. Again, hallucinations are all the craze here in PvP, and hiding tech in your bases is difficult to achieve. Shameless moves in, comes in for the scouts, and Shameless confirms the Dark Shrine. He sees everything. Sees everything in the main base. He sees all. It's real. No. Is this what we cancel? Are we gonna cancel Pappy? Let's go! Does he do it? Better not cancel the robo. No. This is when Shameless cancels the robo because he believes that Jumy will cancel the Dark Shrine. And the DTs just come in anyway. Oh, there it is! Yeah, there's a cancel. Does cancel Dark Shrine. Meanwhile, the proxy is found. Yeah, finds a proxy, does shut it down. Jumy is moving out to try to save it. Does keep his probe alive, but that's going to be a cancellation on the gateway. Shameless pulling back. Remember, Jumy has not expanded. Shameless has. Jumy has a larger army instead. Does catch a sentry. Sentry goes down. Ooh, for a stalker though. At the same time, Shameless, he busts into the mid line. Probe's going to be falling. Once again, he looks to waste some of those stalkers. And Shameless having a slightly better engage. Shameless, he claims the fight. Forces back Jumy. And Shameless holds. Third base is already done. Jumy just now starting his own third. Jumy is behind. Needs to find some damage, and here come the adepts. Again, there's a chance. There's still chances, there's still opportunities for Jumy to find some damage. Ideally, he wants to distract on the right-hand side, then come in from the left. Oh, breaks it. Gets a probe. Adepts say bust into the mineral line. Probes are going down. Nicely done. Yeah, 5, 6, 7 probe kills. Jumy moving in. Just dancing with the army, distracting. 9 workers going to be going down. Not bad. Kills 9 workers, pulls away. From here he pulls back, pulls away. Jumy taking a lead. Doing that extra gateways. I say taking a lead. Shameless still up in workers, slightly. But Jumy clawing his way back into this. Getting to charge. A little bit surprised that Shameless has not done the same. Shameless is sticking with purely Blink Stalker. There we go. Charge now on the way. But it's now time for Shameless to be the aggressor. And he's up in Blink Stalkers. Aesthetically pleasing blinks. Very nice. Yeah, as again, Jumy, he does have the stalker lead, pushing into a shield battery, but a grenade concave. Nice force fields. And Jumy throwing down those force fields, trying to force back some of those stalkers. Trying to blow up that defense. Morphing his own Archon. Shield batteries there. First one at least running out of NG. Yeah, force to engage. Also attacking some shots, and Jumy's holding. Jumy, he's barely holding on. Catching at the observer. Jumy does survive, and Jumy's building up a greater army here with now charge lots with Archons. Shameless force back, forces to throw down his own Temple Archives. Almost said Twilight Archives. Oh god. Lack of sleep is getting to me, man. Yeah. Both players are being active. Rotating in. Does look for a way in. Again, he's got his Archons. Does move forward. It's a massive wave of cells waiting for him, though. I mean, that's what the Archons are for. But it still might not be enough. Yeah, Shameless forcing his way through. Does focus out. Does barely not get the Archon. Doesn't break through at the same time. Prism into the bases. Shameless going for the backstab. Baits out the charge lots. Prism has arrived. Doesn't quite go for the warp in. Ooh, as the prism goes down. Shameless hunting down the main army. Does catch the prism, not bad. Yeah, massive snipe, takes out the Prism, takes down the Archons. Gets another Archon as well. Yeah, and Jumy, he's just falling apart here. Getting caught out in the open. And again, it was just a bit of a shakier start for Jumy. And GG gets called. Shameless with a greater economy, with a greater army, and Shameless will take game number 1. Whew, GG. Shameless does take a lead in the series. Again, it was a bit of a back and forth. Both players had their own moments, but Shameless was able to get a faster third base, able to have an embrace a greater economy. Jumy, he was clawing his way back into it. He was trying to catch up, but again, Shameless had a better economy for a lot longer, which is more important, and with that, it did overwhelm, did excel. GG. GG, well played. And with that, we're getting into game number 2. Shall we get into game 2? Oh, a bit of a rare side here, but a shout out to the best of 5 format. As up next, we're going to be loading into Last Fantasy. Again, it's rarely seen in best of 3s, but in best of 5s, we get to see it every now and then. Every now and then. Let's go. I'm ready for the proxy. Gibbs, papi, Gibbs. As spawning in the top side of Last Fantasy, we have our German Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Streamer Zone down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back. We'll see if he can make a series out of this. It is Jumy. And spawning in the bottom side or right side of Last Fantasy, we have the red Protoss player. The red Protoss representing Team Little Fairy, leading series 1-0. It is Shameless. Here we go. So we're building up. So we're getting into our openers. Whew, and so far so good. Welcome to Last Fantasy. Last Fantasy is the most vetoed map in the map pool. It is a 3-player spawn map, but you can spawn in top side, right side, and left side as well. And we can see that Shameless is searching for Jumy. Does check the left-hand side, does confirm that Jumy is not there. And Jumy, Jesus, does go for the gate expand. A very greedy start here out of Jumy. Does go for the faster Nexus. Does go for a very greedy opener, and Shameless, he will confirm. Shameless went 2-gate, went for a standard 2-gate opener, back at him instead. He confirms the timing of the Nexus. And how does Shameless react? Typically, the reaction to this is to go into a 1-base all-in and be hyper-aggressive. But he doesn't really have a setup for that. The robe is getting caught. Ariser on this worker. Stargate back at home. Okay, not going for the all-in. So Stargate opener into a later expansion. Now the purpose of this is, one, yes, Shameless is going to be behind. He will have a later Nexus, he will be behind, but he has the opportunity to recover with what? With a double Adept as an opener and with the Oracle as well. So he's going to have Oracles and Adepts to harass, and that is going to be Shameless's way to recover in this game. Be his way to recover economically, and we'll see if he can. As the hallucination does go into the main base, Jumy does scout the Stargate, he's aware. And he throws down this shield battery. Shield barriers are on the way. So one on the low ground, he has one in the main base mineral line. And so far, Jumy, he's defending well. The Oracle does scout the Twilight Council, does scout at the second gateway. The Depth Step busting the way in. They do not make it through. Whew. Again, so far, Jumy he is holding on. Going for the stasis. Ooh, stasis is denied. Nice reaction out of Jumy. He defends the main. He deflects. Does deflect Shameless. So far, Shameless not finding any damage. I mean, he's been denying mining time. That's really it. And behind this, Shameless, he did not get his second Oracle. 2 Oracles, they can one-shot probes, but he didn't invest that hard. Ooh, as he does get in. Yeah, he does shade into the mineral lines. Probe's going to be going down. Actually, he's on A move. Yeah, he was on A move there for a moment. Doesn't get much done. He kills 3 probes for 3 adepts. And he will lose that final adept as well. Does shade away. Does survive with 1. Oof. Yeah, a bit of miscontrol there from Shameless. Does have some miscontrol. Despite that, still killed a couple of workers, and with that, Shameless does take a slight lead. Very slight. Working towards Blink. Setting up stasis traps. And the game continues. Now again, at least he was able to deny mining and at least disrupt the economy in some way to recover. So getting into our game. Getting into our back and forth. Behind this, we have a 4-gate setup, going for a 5th gateway, potentially. My eyes are on this probe. There it is, 2 base all in. So Shameless is going for the 2 base all in. Meanwhile, Jumy is expanding. He's taking his third. How many gates? How many gates do we have here? I believe 3 gates? Yeah, 3 gates set up for Jumy. Meanwhile, 5 gates set up for Shameless. Now, Shameless, he can throw down a 6th gateway and just double down. Or he can expand. Now Stalkers, they reinforce. Shameless, he does scout the location of the 3rd. And he's warping in. Shameless is just warping in. And Shameless does have an overwhelming Stalker army. He can just go straight to the main. Yeah, Bleaks into the main base. Going for the mineral line, going for the production. Jumy out of position, racing on over. Nice bait in the stasis. Very nice. Okay. Jumy's holding on. Jumy, he holds, he defends. Looking for another way in. But again, Shameless, I'm a little bit surprised here. Shameless, he has a massive bank. He's got 800 minerals, 400 gas. He's been missing warp-ins. I was curious, but he has been missing warp-ins. Like, every second counts here. Shameless makes it to the main base. But again, the army is comparable for Jumy. He can take a fight. He can and he will. And Shameless just doesn't have enough. Like, again, he has money, but he has not been able to spend that money. Now he's expanding. And Jumy's holding. Jumy's holding on. You can see the... Oh, the bait! Oh my god, never mind. He baits him in. And a brutal stasis goes off. Shameless is going for the kill, going for the natural. What can he get done? Does catch a couple of Stalkers, takes down the sentry, no force fields. Busts into the main. Stasis is soon to run out. As he picks up a couple of Stalkers, does go for the mineral line. Delays +1. Denies +1. Okay, not bad. Holding onto the ramp. As more boys are being pulled, he does kite back. And Shameless, he did find some damage. Okay, let's go. 5 probes, couple of pylons, couple of Stalkers, +1. Jumy even getting supply blocks. Behind this, going for his own Dark Shrine. So is Shameless. Uh-oh. They're both going for DTs. Shameless rotates over. And again, Shameless, he was in a rough position. Not anymore. It's still not clear cut. Oh. not again, not again. Oh no, not again. Oh, that's another stasis goes off. It was about to run out as well. Oh no, it was about to run out. And Shameless, he's all over Jumy. Ay, ay, ay. The stasis traps. Not like this. Not like this. As FSA busted, the main probe is going to be going down. Shameless here rolls the main army. Stasis is about to run out though. True. Does run out. Shameless, yes, respect it. Yeah, it does blink away. Here he blinks away. Shameless still has that army advantage. We have a couple of Dark Temple warping in for Jumy. Meanwhile, we do have an Oracle at least for Shameless, so he does have Revelations available. Oh, he has cannons as well. Oh, Jesus Christ. The cannons are ready. There we go. Cannon at the natural, cannon in the main base. I mean, he saw the Dark Shrine when he was attacking earlier. True. The cannons are ready. Say the same for Jumy. Somewhat at least. Yeah, those are cannon at the natural, not in the main. Stalkers, they rotate into the natural as well. Jumy going for a ninja expansion. Bold move out of Jumy. I don't think that's going to come into play though. Shameless is just pulling Jumy apart. We're going to catch out the main army. Oh, at least trying to, but Jumy's holding on. Okay. Jumy's holding. Still denying any kind of mining in the main. Jumy just trying to survive. Yeah, still trying though. Shameless, he breaks that main army, now pushing in for the third. Scouts the ninja base. Does find it. And Shameless, he will have this. He will take it. GG. Shameless, he will overwhelm. And Shameless, he will take a 2-0 lead in the finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played again. And a very intense game here out of Shameless. And the MVP stasis trap. Shameless, he was in a rough position. He was in a very rough position. He was behind when it came to his third base, behind when it came to his economy. When it came to the army, it was equivalent, if not even smaller army than Jumy. Like Shameless, things are not looking good there. We were talking about how small his army was. We were talking about his bank and how he was missing warp ins. But what occurred? A brutal stasis, catching every single stalker. It allowed Shameless to take a better fight, to get some actually intentional damage done here, some impactful damage, I should say. Sniping the forge, catching pylons, killing workers, catching stalkers. And with that, Shameless did snowball out of control. And with that, we're getting into game 3, and this could end 3-0. I'm hoping that we get a game 4. I'm hoping for a game 5. But Shameless is one game away from claiming the entire series. Oh boy. Uno más, papi. Uno más. Uno más. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner here. Bottom right hand corner of torches, we have the German Protoss player, we have the blue Protoss representing Streamer Zone, down heavily in the series. He has to fight back here right now to have a chance to make a series out of this and have a chance of becoming this week's champion. It is a Jumy. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Protoss player, the red Protoss himself representing Team Little Fairy, leading the series 2-0. It is a Shameless. Let's go. Let us go, yo. Meanwhile, shout out to Lunacy in the chat. Lunacy, papi. Hi. Good to see you. Annyeonghaseyo. Good to see you as always. Unfortunate that we didn't get to see you in the brackets. Lunacy. Next time. We'll see you in the brackets. Nexus first. Straight up, not even gate expand, but Nexus first out of Jumy. Shameless does scout. Shameless, he does see this, setting up for his own gateway on the low ground. And Shameless, does he react? Does he respond with an all-in, or does he just get into his own greedy build? He's going for the Nexus. Okay. So Jumy goes Nexus first, Shameless goes Gate Expand. So both players going for economic openers. Jumy will have a slightly better economy. And Jumy's like, hey, what are you doing in here? Get out of here. Why are you scouting in PvP? Aye. True. You're an animal. Get out of here. It's like, I like it. I like the scout. Such a wholesome answer. It's like, I just like knowing what you're up to. It's like, you don't have my permission. Get out of here. Give me that, bro. Este Jumy. So now, we're selling in. We are going to be selling in. Again, it's going to be a Stargate opener out of Shameless. Going for the faster Stargate. And we'll see how Jumy does open up. I mean, 2Gate. 2Gate follow-up here out of Jumy. So, delayed tech. Going for a more gateway-centric opener instead. With Stalkers, with Sentries. Speaking of scouting, Jumy currently has no idea what's going on. He has not seen what's happening. As he does threaten a shade. Jumy, he's walled up. Oh no. It's like, Adept? What? Get out of here. Oh no. The turns have tabled. Now Shameless, the mind games. It's like, why do you have an Adept here? What's going on? What's happening? Here comes our Hallucination Scout. That's going to be sent away. Oracle into the main. Main base is ready. We have a shield battery. Thankfully, Jumy's been playing safe. So, safety shield battery. As the Oracle does head in, going for the stasis. Stays up in the middle line. A bit of a late reaction out of Jumy. Does pull away, though. And he still gets caught out. 5 probes. Yeah, 5 workers do get caught. And Jumy, he responds with 2 more gateways. Oh boy. 2 more gates being thrown down. No Nexus, no expansion, no further tech yet. Oh. So Oracles do bust in. They get 1, they get 2 probes. They pick off 2 workers. Shameless, he's the one to expand. But remember, Jumy's intentionally staying on 2 bases. Throwing down more gates. Again, we're expecting a 5th gateway at least. Maybe even a proxy. Shameless, he is aware, he saw the gateways. He also sees no expansion. He has an Epsi on the left, he has Oracles on the right. So he knows that Jumy is being aggressive. He's warping in. Jumy is going to commit. And speaking of, yes, there it is, going for the proxy in the face of the probe. So Jumy, he's going for a 2-base all-in. He's got 4, soon to be 5 gateways on 2 bases. And Shameless, he sees the proxy. He's going to shut it down. He does force a cancel. And now Jumy has to expand. Did I say expand? He just throws down a backup proxy a little bit further behind. A little bit further behind instead. But again, it's all or nothing from Jumy. He's rallying across. Pylon is done. Show us the gateway. Ooh, never mind. Does expand. Okay. Does go for a delayed 3rd. Very late, but it's on the way. Delayed 3rd base out of Jumy. In. Shameless. Again, he after seeing the proxy, he did react with a wall of shield batteries. 4 sheep wires get thrown down, sage traps as well. Shameless reacting hard. Now he goes out for his scout. He will confirm that his opponent is not all in. There's the expansion. And Shameless, now he can invest in tech. Now he can start to tech up into charge. He's already got +1 on the way. Dark Shrine here out of Jumy. Ay. Oh, loving this rotation. Heads into it does make his way into the natural. Make his way to the main, going for the pylons, does the power 3 gateways, not bad. And boys are being pulled, the probe's going to be going down as well. Jumy just completely out positioning Shameless. Oh, that's going to be 13 probe kills, and then here comes a recall. Does recall back home. That's 13 workers falling. Now, on the one hand, Jumy now does take a worker lead, that's true, but Shameless has had a better economy for longer. So on the one hand, it's a strong follow-up here from Jumy, now he can recover, but he needs more time for the economy to actually kick in, as he only just now saturates. So again, late third, late saturation, Jumy needs time for this to kick in. Meanwhile, Shameless, he has a greater army. Ooh, as DCs are holding forward. Is there any detection? There's a forge, there's a stargates, but there's a cannon, okay. Ooh, stasis goes up. Hands in position, nice revelation as well. And Shameless will go for the base trade. Yeah, we're going for the base trade. DTs are revealed, but there's nothing in him to defend. Shameless does hit the third. And is the base trade the right call here? I can't recall. Yeah, he can't quite. Does rotate. We'll see what and if he recalls. Defensive DT. And DT going to be worked in. Natural's going to be falling. So is the main. More oracles are on the way. There's still one oracle here. There's revelation. It's going to be a brutal fight though. And the oracle has to get the hell out of here. And the oracle does not escape. Okay, there's one oracle left. There's one form of no, we're fine. I was about to say there's one form of detection. We're completely fine. There's a wall of cannons here, and Shameless is running away with this. He takes over the natural, takes over the third, pushing into the main. Charge is not yet done. Needs 12 more seconds. A little bit more time. As Revelation does kick in. And Shameless, he should be able to take over the main. There's not much to stop him. Let's couple more charge though. Revelation may soon just run out. And Jumy, he's racing back home. He's racing all the way back home. I thought about it. Bit of an F2. Good. The Oracle does survive. There's the final revelation. Jumy, he sees the wall of sight defense and cannons and shield batteries. And again, Shameless is all over this. There's no losing this expansion. No shot. As the final base is going to go down. Boys are being pulled. Observers on the way. Oh my god. Hylon does barely survive, and GG, well played. Shameless, he will hold back at home, he defends, and he attacks across the map, and Shameless, he will take the series 3-0, becoming this week's Sparkling Tuna Cup number 98 champion. GG. Whew. GG, well played. A dominant showing here out of Shameless, just all over the aggression of Jumy, and at times, of course, being aggressive himself. A very chaotic series, very chaotic back and forth. I say back and forth, was a 3-0, but a lot of these games could have gone either way. A lot of these games were very close, very intense. GG, well played. Congratulations. Congratulations to Shameless. Is this Shameless's first win? No shot. Hold on. We have to find out. We have to find out. Okay. Let's go. GG, well played. As I quickly double check here again, Shameless never. Okay, he has won this year actually. At Sparkling Tuna Cup number 92. Okay, so Shameless, this is his second win, the second win of the year, and I think the second win in his career as well, in the history of Sparkling Tuna Cup. So congratulations to Shameless for winning his second STC, his second tuna. Congratulations. Meanwhile, shout out to Jumy, as Jumy does claim second place. Again, he did well for himself to make it this far, of course. Did have his own strong showing against Shameless as well, but alas, did barely not go his way, and Shameless did run away with it in the end. Congratulations, and a shout out to Shameless. Again, he has been thriving as of late. We were giving him praise earlier. Remember, he took down Australia 2-0 last week, and even here able to keep up in the aggression with not just Jumy, but also with Art as well. So congratulations. And also a special shout out to Jumy, not just because he made it to the finals, but how did he get to the finals? He took down the #1 seed. If you recall, the #1 seed of the tournament was Creator, and Jumy was the one to stop him. And I don't know if Shameless could do the same. I'll be honest, I don't know if he could. I mean, sure, he has the capacity to do so, but especially in the best of 5, it would have been a much different ask, a much different series. So a shout out to Jumy for bringing down Creator. Very impressive play there. And also, of course, Ducklings for winning the random raffle as well. Course, exclamation mark rigged in the chat as always. Ducklings does walk away with a 5 USD, and congratulations to our players. Exclamation mark Maturino in the chat if you guys want to support this tournament. If you want to support the players, you can do so. As of course, top 4 players are paid out. Creator, Jumy, Art, and Shameless all walk away with some prize money alongside Ducklings. And if you want to support this tournament series even further, you can do so via Patreon. Exclamation mark Patreon in the chat, and you'll get a link to our Patreon page. Our Patreon is designed to fund not just Sparkling Tuna Cup, but also Sea Duckling Open and Master Swan Open as well. All 3 of our tournaments are all sponsored or all funded via Patreon. Bam. You can see our CranKy Duckling tournaments here on my right. You can see SDO, STC, and MSO. All 3 tournaments are funded via Patreon. So thank you so much to all of our patrons. You can see just under the goal here, or sorry, just under the graphic, our Patreon goal. We currently earn 461 USD a month via Patreon, and our next goal is at 500. That's our next goal, to boost the prize pool even further for our tournament. So thank you so much to all of our current patrons. Without you, our tournaments would not be as I should say beneficial for the players. They would not provide as much, and there'd be less interest in them as well from the player base. So thank you so much for all the support. And again, we're almost there, almost at our next goal. Thank you so much. Do appreciate it. As with that, just catching up in the chat. Protoss, I balanced the patch. Even Protoss players seem miserable playing versus Protoss. Bearing in mind, I know that recency bias can be a thing. PvP has always been just degenerate. Like that's always been the case. That is not a new change at all whatsoever. Feels PvP, man. But that's why we love it, because it's so chaotic. Yeah, it's just animals, papi, animals. Aye. But GG, well played. And with that, thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you all appreciate it, and I hope you all enjoyed. And this is a weekly tournament. Every single week we do have the Sparkling Tuna Cup. Sometimes we have to reschedule because there's another event happening. I think an example of that is next week. I believe next week STC will be on Sunday instead. Will be moved from Sunday into Tuesday just because of the Fusion Esports League. I will just double check that, but yes. So next week is going to be on the 29th instead of on the 27th. So sometimes we do move our tournaments just to accommodate for other major events. Otherwise, typically Sundays. And bam, this is our this is our weekly schedule. Here we go. So we just wrapped up with our Sunday evening broadcast, and you can see here at 1 AM KST, at 2 AM AEST, that is going to be in 3 hours. In 3 hours time, we are going to be live with the Platinum Esports monthly tournament, the Platinum StarCraft League, that is going to be taking place in 3 hours time. That is an MMR, I say MMR, that is a League of Like rating restricted tournament. So it is a slightly restricted event here, but we should still be seeing these similar players. I believe basically it's players that are top 16 in the world won't be able to compete, and those below that should be able to. I believe there's like a specific ruling on the League Like rating, but it's quite high, like the rating itself. So basically the best of the best players are not eligible to compete in that tournament, but everyone else is fair game, which is still like a very high threshold. So that's going to be in 3 hours time. Meanwhile, as you can see, this week Esports World Cup. It's gonna be an intense week of StarCraft, non-stop EWC Esports World Cup on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Gonna be a 4-day event of EWC action. Likewise, we do have the Pigastar Cup. Pigastar Cup is gonna be on Wednesday. Tentatively, we'll have to lie and wait. We have to wait and see what happens with the Pigastar Cup. I do believe that depending on how things go, they might reschedule. It. We do have confirmation as well this week. No Wardy TV Monday. There's no Wardy TV Monday. That's why you can see there on Monday. There's no cast in the Monday evening time slots. Technically, we could do a replay cast there of like StarCraft Evolution or Little League Cup. There's definitely stuff that we can put there, but I do want to take it easy and take it slow before EWC. Like I want to make sure that I'm well rested and I'm good to go, and I also need to catch up on some VODs as well in preparation for EWC. So it's going to be an intense week. And again, Pigastar Cup there is very tentative. Meanwhile, MSO, we have Massive Swan Open on Saturday, and we have Fusion Esports League on a Sunday. So non-stop FEL over the weekend. That's going to be right after EWC as well. Crazy. It is crazy, but GG well played. So again, that's going to be our week schedule. Again, we cast more StarCraft and anyone else out there. We cast all the StarCraft at least on a daily basis. But again, likewise, if we really wanted to, we could actually put in another broadcast in the morning for each of these days. But we do want to focus and make sure we are well rested and we are at 100% for the Esports World Cup. That is our priority, of course. Our priority for this week. Same with Fusion Esports League as well. Same with FEL. So with that, thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. We do appreciate it. And again, we're going to be back in 3 hours time with the Platinum StarCraft League. And quickly double checking here, who's signed up? Who is signed up? As it looks like we do have our brackets. We have players like Creator. We have Creator. We have Shameless. We have Arts. We have Jumy, Nickrat, Cristiano, Sig, VK. Basically, if you look at this bracket, if you look at our Tuna Cup bracket here with Creator, Rebellion, Replicant, YoungYakov, Jumy, Cristiano, Art, Shameless, Nickrat, take all these players and they're all going to have a rematch basically in 3 hours. It's almost the exact same player base that you see here. Going to be playing later on tonight in the Platinum Heroes StarCraft League June edition. So we'll have another tournament. We'll have another tournament in 3 hours time. So until then, I'm going to get some rest. I'm going to get some water. I'm going to drain my disruptors, massage my marines, and hydrate all my hydras. You should as well, as we get ready for a night of StarCraft. So we're only halfway there. We'll see you in 3 hours for our next cast. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Stick around. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. We'll find someone to send everyone over to. Who's live at the moment? Who is live? Let's see. I don't see many people live. I see Lunacy is streaming. Okay. We could raid Lunacy. He's a nice guy. Otherwise, you might find someone else. My goal as well, I'm gonna try to nap. It's gonna be difficult, so I'll say that at least. It's gonna be difficult to get some sleep, but I'll try to nap a little bit before the cast because I'm very tired. But we'll do our best. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next time. Until then, ciao, papi ciao. See you next time. Hasta luego. See you next time.